just start this now. So that it's done. Yes.
You said if it's not 15.
So text me.
Yeah.
Text me.
Yeah.
Are we right to go, Bruce?
Sharks 14. Capital S or? Well, no, that's what I've got here. Nah, it's not Sharks 14. It's not Sharks 14. Yeah. Try with the capital S. Robert Curtis will have it.
That's why you get filling on the chair. All the life skills are there. So that, Josh will know this, but that's where the tweets will come up. There's the notifications, and this is all the live scores once the games start.
So that just updates.
Yep. Just, you can occasionally
So what's he doing
refresh
on
it.
here if you...
So they'll just come up, just hit retweet.
Is that retweet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Alright, cool.
That should be all good to go. And just
Should we be hearing Barry?
You won't be hearing anything from Barry just yet. Because I changed the power feed from off the power board, which means they don't plug into the screw. And I've taken it right round the bloody power point that's actually on the wall, so they can't be interfered with the 16 tables in front of it. It makes it a bit difficult.
Hello. What's happening? That's me calling you. That's you, Rocky.
We should have.
What's happening? It crashed and now we can't.
Are you hanging around?
You want to try your
just want to check that the feeds.
Right.
Yes,
We should have something coming back from the studio. Check 1, 2. You can hear me, can't you, Ray?
I can hear you, Bruce.
I can hear you as well.
Okay, bonus. It's got to be that one.
Yep.
That one.
You there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Brucey, I'm putting the two coaches on the two end headphones as they come in.
These two.
Whichever
Yeah,
whichever one you want down the end there
Yeah,
as
it's
they
all
come
right.
on.
That's nothing. That's easy fixed.
I might get Soupy to grab one at some point as well.
That's all the ins and outs for today.
What's that?
That's all the ins and outs for today.
Oh, okay, rightio. What one's that on? Oh, it's on a tab.
All right, we should be.
It's all right having these. It's all right having these electronic scores.
Oh, I know why. Hang on. Shit.
EFL or TC Cup or one of those.
Okay. Chevello.
I know why we haven't got feed.
These electronic scoreboard. All the games on the score should be on.
Yeah, well that's because Bruce unplugged it.
What's it?
Hang on. I'm doing something that's very important.
The airbags can explode with too much force, sending shrapnel into the passenger compartment. Scientists have warned that the sixth mass extinction on Earth has begun. A new study says animals are disappearing about 100 times faster than might be expected without human influence, the BBC's Simon Ponsford reports.
The decline in animal species has been driven by habitat loss, pollution and climate change, and it's the most rapid since the dinosaurs were wiped out some 65 million years ago. One scientist said many species were now the living dead. The study also warned that humans were threatening their own future existence and were likely to become one of the lost species. Researchers said there was still time to take action through intense conservation of animals, but the window of opportunity was closing fast.
And the popular inner city suburb has been named one of the world's hippest. The UK's Telegraph newspaper puts Fitzroy up with the best London and New York has to offer. The paper even suggests taking in the street graffiti while in town.
Radio Eastern 98.1 Sport.
North Melbourne welcomes back star midfielder Nick Del Santo from hamstring surgery for today's clash with the Giants in Sydney. Meanwhile, GWS has made 6 changes, 4 of them because of injury, but Kangaroos caretaker coach Darren Crocker says his team will still have a fight on its hands.
You know, they've got, that much depth of talent at that footy club, and so we need to make sure that we bring our best.
This afternoon's first game starts in just about 40 minutes with Carlton taking on Port Adelaide at the MCG. Carlton will be bolstered by the returns of Bryce Gibbs and Chris Yarran. Tigers defender Alex Rance has signed a 4-year deal with Richmond, keeping him at Tigerland until at least the end of the 2019 season. At the US Open, American Patrick Reed still on the 18th hole, but in the second round as he attempts to hold on to his lead at 6 under. Countryman Jordan Spieth 5 under after the second round. Aussie Jason Day is recuperating in the family camper van after collapsing due to vertigo at the US Open. He's the best placed Australian and an even past 70 and remains hopeful of competing in the final 2 rounds. News time, it's 1:05.
Radio Eastern 98.1 Weather Update.
Yes, and the Bureau forecast for today, with the morning fog and frost patches expected to clear mostly this afternoon, mainly over the eastern suburbs, and a partly cloudy day will ensure this afternoon with the chance of a shower over western and southern suburbs and clearing up later this afternoon, and we're going for a top today of 13. Now the outlook for Sunday, frost and sunny, a low over tonight, and the outer east of a very chilly one and a top of 13.
What's that?
And Monday, cloud increasing at 13. Tuesday, late shower and 15. And Wednesday,
You're
clear
pass
shower
over another
and 15.
record.
And
Josh,
right at the moment,
record
it's
for
11
Josh.
degrees in Melbourne's outer east. Good afternoon. Barry Cos with you at 1:05. And I'm your studio host this afternoon for EFL Gameday.
Now it's time to go local for your footy. This is EFL Saturday. Let's jump straight into the warm-up.
Good afternoon from out in Rams Reserve. Just getting a bit of an echo hacking in here. Bruce, if you can fix that up for us, there it is. Just throwing us right off. It's off to a great start. Of course, EFL Gameday brought to you by the Pancake Parlour, and we're out in Division 2 land today, and it's first versus second. We've been dying to see the Croydon football side for a number of weeks. We've already got a sneaky peek at Doncaster a few weeks ago when they did a solid job on Mulgrave, but today's game promises to be very close. There's some big ins and outs for both sides, and we'll talk about that shortly, but there's a big crowd expected out here today, and well, everyone should be pumped, and so they should be. Both these sides giving a real fair dinkum crack at what could be a Division 1 spot up for grabs in another couple of months' time. I'm joined on the Pancake Parlour pre-match show by the wise man of the Eastern Football League. It's great to have you back on board, sitting alongside me again today, mate. Ray Bear, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, BWS, and I'm just looking at the weather. Driving over here to Doncaster today, you go through patches of beautiful sunshine in the car, and then 2 kilometres down the road it's very cloudy and looks like rain. But look, there's a huge black cloud over the southern end of the ground, but it's going to clear, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's well, let's hope that the conditions stay good, because the ground looks fantastic up here, doesn't it? It's very, very neat. Of course, they play district cricket here, and but no, it's certainly in good nick, and let's hope it stays that way. A man who's flown right across the eastern suburbs just to be here on EFL Gameday after playing this morning. Josh Dawe, good afternoon to you, mate.
Yes, thanks, Benny. Yes, over from Waverley, and yeah, similar sort of conditions out there. The clouds sort of building, so that should be another good Division 2 game. The Donny East taking on a Waverley team who got a very good win last week, so some good games around Division 2, but no, really looking forward to this top of the table clash, and got a brilliant view from the club rooms here at Shrams Reserve. It should be a fantastic game.
Certainly spent many a Saturday night and a Friday night up here back in the day during the late 90s.
I'm surprised they let you in the place.
I've contributed to the bar, don't you worry about that, boys. But no, it should be a really close game you played in this morning.
Yeah, unfortunately went down after the siren. It was a tight game, back and forth for the most part, and looked like we had the chance to get the 4 points, which would have been pretty good, having only won a couple of games. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. And no, the Waverley guys were pretty humble in victory, and it was a good contest, probably the best game of footy I've played in for a couple of years.
Ben, you were still talking about the condition of the ground. I'm just looking at that centre cricket area. I mean, to my memory, this is the first time I've been out here to Doncaster where it hasn't been black, thick, muddy turf. You know, the council's done a really good job on it. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, sucking up to the Manningham Council, right?
Oh, you got to suck up to everybody, mate.
Today, I talked about it in the intro, there are some big outs for both sides as well, which effectively squares the ledger, but there are some big names, Ray, that are missing in action today.
Yeah, certainly. Doncaster, well, there's two big omissions there. Chris Anarchis and Nathan Thompson will not be playing for them, so that's huge at 2 outs for the Doncaster side, but then equally as much, there's 2 huge outs for the Croydon side as well. Brendan Wienert will not be playing, and Lee Kimpton, so we were hoping to have to see the 2 top forwards in Division 2 have a shootout here today, but neither of them are playing, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think you can throw Benny Johnson in that one as well for the Sharks. I'm pretty sure he was one of those guys in the outs, but yeah, they're 3 massive outs. I mean, Thompson obviously he's kicked I think 32 goals so far this season from possibly 6 games. Benny Johnson, these 2 guys got AFL experience, and any time you got losing those 2 is massive. But I think Christian Arcus is probably the role at the moment. What's been the most impressive aspect of Doncaster's play this year?
I just think it's the way that it's not so much looking at your top 6, it's more, if anything, bottom 10. I know historically clubs say
Is today almost a must-win for the club in order to sort of keep, above some of these teams that will continue to pushing up?
I mean, the obvious answer to that is yes. It's without putting the pressure on the guys. It's not so much a must-win that if we lose, geez, are we going to make the finals, or are we going to, really battle to keep a top 2 or top 3 or even top 4. It's more about starting to build a momentum again. That with the split round coming up, it's that sort of period and era that if we let a couple of games, and we know Division 2, anyone can beat anybody on their day. If it's the old saying, have they showed up to play? Well, it's not so much about that. It's about mindset. It's about attitude, and we felt that last week against Millbark. We were lucky last week against Millbark. They jumped us, and they were really good in that first quarter. They just didn't put scoreboard pressure on. So it's one of them aspects that if we switch Lee-Means on and we're okay to play, yeah, the win will get us the 4 points and start to separate us from a couple of those sides. But it's also about, more importantly, is building that momentum for that next 8-week period.
We spoke about some of the outs that you guys have today, but for the Croydon team, there's also some pretty big outs, and especially down forward without Wynart. It's whenever a team loses a key forward, there can always be some difficulties. Is there any sort of focus on one particular player that you guys have this today, or is it just being wary with the defensive structure, which has been good all year, about the talent and skill that's all round?
Yeah, look, we scout. We look at the opposition players, and obviously you put maybe a little bit more attention from my point of view in certain individuals. Look, with Waynard out, that's we'll take that. We'll take that any day. But that's all of a sudden, if you've looked at the last couple of weeks, it's released Callagher, who's kicked 5 and 6. All of a sudden he's found a bit of a mojo without Waynard there. So does that mean he's a bit more of a focal point, or has their style of play changed to suit a different individual? So that's actually an ace up their sleeve, in that, we know what Croydon play like with a Waynard. Do we know what they play like without a Waynard? And that's where we're going to have to be really quick to react on the ground. So those kind of players there, but it's got to start from the middle. And, with the likes of Frankie, our ruckman and Jarvis as well, if we can control the stoppages more often than them, hopefully it'll go our way.
Andrew, look, with Chris Anarchis out of the side as well. Now, we all know, look, he's your key midfield. There's no doubt about that. But, who are you expecting to step up today in your midfield to take his place?
Oh, well, you guys keep giving Zach Carroll the vote, so we thought we'd throw him in the middle so it makes it easy.
He's not taking home an award today, I'm telling you that. But,
no, look, it's, again, going back to what I mentioned before, you're right. I'm not going to hide behind Anarchis. The league knows him. We all know him. He gets tagged every week, and somehow he finds something to perform even stronger. But, it's young bucks like Dave Malloy and Hooper and Zachy Carroll and Siakavalis. We've built a group of young lads that anyone can go through there, and that's probably what we've lacked the last couple of years. So we've actually built a bit more of an engine where if one's down or one's getting really punished, we've got someone else that can step up. So yeah, there'll be a few going through there.
Just before you spoke about, their attitude, to come to play and all that type of thing. Now, as a coach, just, over the previous 10 weeks or so that we've had, on different occasions, have you noticed a different attitude with your team, pre-match?
Look, the attitude, last week there was a sense of complacency coming off the break. It just felt, out Millbark, you're always expecting snow and the caps and away you go, but it was like you're out in the surface paradise. It was nice and warm and sunny, and look, the attitude's fine. The guys come up to play. They really know what it's about. They've got a real drive in their engine of success. They know what it takes, and now it's all their time. They get ready, they do their warm-up. I get them with 5 minutes, maybe if that, before 2 o'clock before we run out, and then we have one last word and away we go. Showtime. Just on that point there, do you find then that it's harder when you're playing the bottom side to get your guys up? Because, they go in, being a top side, do you feel that they go in there thinking, we're only playing the bottom side, and that attitude's not there sometimes? No, that's one of the things that we've actually worked on, regardless whether it's a bottom side or top side. We don't see any side as a bottom side in Division 2 because, again, we know how consistent and how dangerous the league, that competition is from top to bottom. We come up knowing that they've got an opposition, that we respect that opposition regardless of what the W's and the O's say on the ladder, and that we want to come off at quarter time in front at every single time. So we have little set goals that we put ourselves through, and if we achieve them, great. If we don't achieve them, well, we've got to fix them up real quick and make sure we counteract the next time.
Clearly very happy with the depth of the squad. I mean, at the moment going on in front of us, the Resi's only 7 points down to Croydon, who are also on top in the reserves. Is this probably one of the strongest teams that you've had over the last couple of years in terms of the depth? And, speaking about these guys that you said have come in and you're backing them to play their role, I mean, you obviously have a lot of confidence in this squad and how far they can go.
Yeah, 100%. And it's not only from a senior aspect point of view, like the senior group, it's also a credit to the likes of Adrian Galachi and our 19s who, like right now, you've got a few 19s that have stepped up playing a double a game. That these kids are, admittedly they're top age, but they're eligible for 19s. But we are able to play them at senior level as well. So we've got depth right through to the 19s that can come in and do the job as well. Look, we've got the young Zane Kettlecheck, who's a legitimate 19s playing senior footy, which is probably what is the biggest strength of Doncaster in my time here, is that we've got a group of young lads that are able to develop and become the future of tomorrow.
If you had to pick one quarter, it'd be the first quarter where you haven't been as consistent maybe as other quarters. Is the aim to come out today firing in that first quarter?
Look, that's the aim every week. Beat up. So it's one of them things that if we I've got a saying with the boys is that the ruckman and the midfield, they've got the honour of being the first to try and get their hands on it, so make it work for us rather than them. And look, we always want to come off. That's one of our goals. We always want to come off in front scoreboard, regardless of what the amount is, and if we can sort of tick that box with them, that just gives us a platform going forward.
Well, we appreciate your time in coming up to and talking to us here on EFL Gameday, mate. All the best for the game. It's a big day for the football club. The hill will be growling all afternoon, and we can't wait to see some quality football out there today.
Thanks, fellas. Hopefully it'll be a good day for us.
Thanks very much to Andrew Tranquilli, the senior coach of the Doncaster Football Club, and they're ready to go today.
Yeah, and you feel like just from the way Andrew speaks about the boys, and they'd have so much confidence having a coach like that. Whilst the focus will be on those three big outs, you're still not going to put it past them to be able to take a win today, especially at home where generally, they played really good football.
And look, we must commend Andrew too, because since he's been at the helm here, that I think they've played finals every year, haven't they? BWS, just about. He's got a terrific record with them, and it's great to see it will continue. There's no doubt about that.
Well, yeah, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride over the last 5 years or so, up and down, but now back up and doing well from the outset. So they certainly are one of the teams to beat. He mentioned Jaden Hooper as a player that might step up today. I'm very keen to see how this young guy goes, because he's been named in the best players 7 times already this season. So he's having an absolute ripper, and number 56 as well. So I can't recall calling him. So I'm excited to see what that will happen today. Of course, Doncaster have a fantastic backline, Ray. We've talked about it for years. You've got McGarnis and Schimmelbusch leading the way down there, and they on a small ground they do their bit, they win their football, and then they can actually be potent with it and do something with it as well.
And they also got Fiora. Let's not forget about him. He can play basically anywhere on the field, but he's running off the half back line. In other games, has been terrific. So look, both of these are 2 class Division 2 sides. There's no doubt about it. And I'll make the statement statement now that, the premiers will come from one of these two sides, in my opinion.
Well, you're sitting next to two Donny East people here.
I know that. That's why I said it.
Stirring the pot, as always. That's all right. We'll go with the underdog status. That's all right. We don't mind that. Exactly. Score out here in the reserves at Shram's Reserve. It is Croydon leading this one by 8 points, 6-7-43. Doncaster 5-5-35. They've gone into time on now in the third term. We're hoping that senior coach of the Croydon Football Club, Paul Newlands, will be able to come up in just a moment, and we can talk everything that is Croydon. But first real crack at it, Ray. Who's going to win today?
Well, look, before I knew that Thompson and Anarchis was out of the side, and also the other guys, I was thinking Doncaster. But look, I keep in the back of my mind, it keeps coming back to Croydon. Look, they haven't done a thing wrong all year, and they've been out of these two sides. I think they've just been that step ahead over Doncaster in the last 2 seasons, and I think I think they'll get the points even without Wynett today.
Yeah, I'm going to agree as well. I think Croydon have sort of just making a ground on top of some of the other clubs. I mean, we saw they then put Doncaster East to the absolute sword, and I think today if they win, it'll be good to see by how much, and that'll be able to establish if there is any sort of a gap.
Ben, sorry. You just got to look at the whole Croydon club. As you just said before, that the reserves are on top of the ladder. Their under 19s, I think, are in the five.
Yep.
So the whole club is up and firing, and there's no doubt that they're certainly ready to go back as far as on the field anyway.
Well, they're hungry.
Back to Division 1. That's right.
They're hungry for that. That's the goal, and that's probably just about the minimum expectation. And I think that'd be being drilled into the players. And if they were to fail in that sense, it would be pretty heartbreaking, especially after last year.
Yeah, and I remember talking to them when they came to their president when they came down to Division 2 from Division 1, and he admitted at that stage they were ready to come down. They were struggling getting people there to watch the game, and they were struggling with their results and financially and all that. But now they've consolidated down there. I would no doubt believe that they're ready to go back up.
And they've got a lot of homegrown players too, the Croydon Football Club, who have been there through the good times and the bad times, and they're playing some really good football this year. Andrew Hughes and Jimmy Grant, Trent Martin, these are all names we've heard for a number of years across the Croydon football side, and Josh Bolton and Timmy Green, they're having great seasons as well. So they're just an all-round unit. So it's fantastic stuff to come out here. I've been itching to see Croydon for a number of weeks, Josh. So let's hope that we can see an epic contest out here today.
Yeah, exactly. And with the form they've been in, it plays an important role into how much they can keep that roll up, and it should be exciting. I've yet to see them as well, and heard a lot about when they took Donny East to the sword, and like they have many other teams. So should be keen to see if they can do it again today.
Well, we had a chat with Andrew Tranquilli about 5 minutes ago, and how his team's prepared for the big occasion today. And we've just been talking about Paul, how excited we are to finally get to see your boys in action today, because it should be a cracker.
Oh, definitely, guys. Yeah, the weather's turned out beautiful. The ground's in good nick. Really looking forward to it.
Let's talk about the form of the side this year, because I tell you what, it doesn't look like you're putting too many foots wrong.
No, we're going all right. I mean, we've got a couple of injuries, a couple of long-term ones, obviously, that you guys obviously know about. The boys are doing well. We're all working for each other, and things are going well so far. But I mean, it's midway. We're still a fair part of the season to go. You don't win flags in June, do you?
Is there an extra special build-up to a game like this when it's top of the table, and you have the status as the best team in Division 2 at the moment? Is this today where you stamp that down?
Yes and no. I mean, we've prepared for this, no different to any other game, over the last few weeks. Obviously, Doncaster at Doncaster is a massive game. We all know, if anyone can talk about a fortress, it's Doncaster at Trams, we've gone about it as normal. Yes, it is a big game, top spots up for grabs, but, at the end of the day, if you end up top 2, it's the home rooms or away rooms. That's about all the difference is.
Yeah, that's it. There's been a number of players out of both sides, some quality players as well. How have you had to adjust to this?
Oh, probably no different to AT, I guess. I mean, he's got 3 quality fellas out. We're the same with Weiner, Kimpton, and who was the other one? Hopper as well. 2 of them we probably won't see for the rest of the season. One's obviously going to come back. So, we adjust. It's a bit like the the Hawthorn Footy Club, I guess. You expect the next soldier to step up and fill a role, and that's the sort of pressure we're putting on our boys. And as you can see out here, there's some quality blokes running around the reserves at the moment that are putting their hand up each week to try and do that. So.
Paul, we spoke about your club as the hot season as it's been as a whole. Now, your ones and your twos are both on top of the ladder, and your under 19s are second. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that, does it? And under 19 players, that's what I want to know. Have you blooded any this year as well?
Yeah, we've had a couple play. We've got Jaden Seister has played a couple of games. He's also with the Rangers as well, so he hasn't played with us for the last couple of weeks, I should say. There's a couple of 19s there that we were looking at bringing in. One of them was the captain, actually, young Jimmy Smith, who unfortunately did his knee a couple of weeks ago, who was very close to coming in. Young Rolly Britton's actually out playing the reserves at the moment after playing 19s earlier this morning. So yeah, there's some quality kids there. So there's some exciting times coming ahead.
Paul, we've seen Croydon dismantle some of the teams that we've thought have been in a little bit of form or had a bit of a run, and the boys seem incredibly hungry. I'm assuming that will be the message again today. And in a top two clash, you'd always expect a closer contest, but I mean, is it going to be similar to like you did with the Lions a couple of weeks ago? That was a 70-point dismantling, and is this just the message that's been kept drilling into the boys to just really sort of just take stand in this division and put yourself away from the rest of the clubs?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we come out of a grand final last year where we got done by 10 goals. So for us, we've looked at it, everyone wants to improve, and I've said to you guys before, everyone wants to improve, 10%. We got done by 10 goals. We've got to improve by 10 goals, and that's sort of been the message since the start of the pre-season. We've had some good wins, but at the same time, we're not going to go out here today and fool ourselves and think that we're going to just run over the top of Doncaster at Doncaster. We've still got to stick to all our structures, do all our things right, and hopefully, the scoreboard will take care of itself.
We were speaking about some of the outs that have been there for Doncaster, but obviously still some very quality players, especially in that back line. It's something they really pride themselves on, setting up from the back line and recreating their attacks from that area. Is that been a focus that you've been? Because that's probably the strongest area across the ground. Has that been a focus during the week about how you're going to neutralise the Schimmelbusches, Marganuses and the like?
Yeah, a little bit, but too. We put a lot back on priding ourselves on what we do across our half-forward line as well. I mean, we spoke at our pre-game back at the club before we came here that, the game's going to be won between half-back and half-forward, and it's not just all about the midfielders, If our half-forwards can be that defensive, play that defensive, but attacking football at the same time, that's where we can get over the line. Again, our half-backs have got to create that drive off half-back. We're not too worried about what they do. Yes, they do it very well, but we've got to continue to stick to what we do and what we do well.
Paul, I've been looking at your results throughout the year, and it seems to me that you have the ability and the fitness to run out that second half, and that, to me, that's your strength, is your second half. But having said that, it's equally as important to get out there and get off to a good start today.
Oh, wholeheartedly, yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the boys are a lot fitter than where we were last year. We've sort of spoken about how the first half, especially the first quarter. We've done well. We've played good football, but it's that the old saying, I guess we're the hunted at the minute. The first 10-15 minutes of every game is going to be red hot, so we've just basically got to weather the storm, stay composed and let our football efforts and stick to our structures and do what we know, what we do well, carry us over the line for the next 3 quarters.
Paul, the club, in its great success, obviously the vibe around the place will be incredibly positive, and it's from listening to you, it sounds like the boys are really in a good frame of mind, set to really challenge and take it all the way. Is there anything that needs work yet? Is there something still on your mind that you're still concerned about, or is it all just pretty plain sailing and happy with all the way the work's been done?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's plain sailing. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it, as you guys know. We're no different to any other club. AT would probably look at his and think, we've got to work on this deficiency here and we've got to do that there. We're no different. I'm not going to give away what I think's our good and bad points, but we're no different to any other side, mate. We've got things that we need to work on, and we'll continue to work on that until we get to hopefully the pointy end of the season.
Paul, we spoke to you a couple of seasons ago when you took on the senior job and you were coaching the kids at that stage. Now, hypothetical question here: if you go to First Division next year, do you want to keep coaching the club in First Division?
I've spoken with the club about it. I'd love the opportunity to be able to take them into that. In saying that, though, if someone else was to come along who we thought was better equipped to take the club into First Division, you know, I'd be the first to put my hand up and say, look, I reckon this bloke's maybe a little bit better than, you know, what I can offer. Who knows? We'll sort of cross that bridge when we get to it. I'd love to be able to do it, but at the same time, you know, you've got to think about the club as a whole as well.
You're not throwing me under a bus, you're throwing senior coaches under a bus. Really appreciate you coming up here today, Paul. We've been excited to see you guys for a number of weeks, and we hope your boys can put it out there on the park. Looking forward to watching Hughesy play, the big number one. Been a favourite of mine for a number of years, and in good form.
Oh, definitely, but he's doing really well, the boy. Yep, very well.
Yeah, good stuff. Good luck out there, and we might be talking to you at the end of the game. Happy man.
With a bit of luck. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the day.
Thanks very much to the senior coach of the Croydon Football Club, Paul Newlands. As we've said, very huge game today, and both coaches are quite composed when they've been talking to us.
Quite composed, but I just felt that Paul, because I'm sitting right next to him, I just felt was Paul a little bit edgy. That's the impression I got. That, you know, but nerves going into a big game, that's fine. If the coach is edgy, the players are edgy, and that can be a good thing.
Good stuff. It's time to have our first break here on EFL Gameday, and of course the pre-match show is brought to you by the Pancake Parlour. Isn't it lovely? Time to cross back to Barry Cott's in the Radio Eastern studios, and when we come back we'll start with all the games happening out there today. There's 21 other ones as you hashtag love it local today in the eastern suburbs. We'll be back right after this.
Oh, Barry. He was a great guy, a real larrikin. He loved his footy, was a loyal Carlton supporter. This year's our year, he'd say. He always had Slim Dusty blaring through the speakers, so at Barry's send-off, his coffin was painted navy blue, and Slim Dusty's looking forward, looking back filled the room.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, our motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Hey man.
Yeah, man.
Can you smell it?
Smell what?
It's my favourite smell in the world. Oh, footy season.
Yeah, man, like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G.
Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour.
They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've cheered your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate.
Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent.
Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
What was wrong with you blokes yesterday? You were playing like you'd been stuck in traffic for an hour before getting to the game.
Coach, there was a railway crossing gate down for ages.
The other mob thrashed us. You ran out of legs.
They all have breeze tags, Coach. They use Eastlink. They get to focus on the match rather than focus on inching forward in the traffic.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
Love it local and keep your radio dial locked on 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL Gameday kicks off at 1 every Saturday as the EFL Media Team bring you all the EFL Gameday action, thanks to the Pancake Parlour. On Sunday, tune in from 10 for Crocs Play Centre's EFL Sunday for a complete review of all the senior EFL matches. Wednesday night from 6, tune in to The Huddle with Paul Semasides, Aaron Kirkby-Rodia and Will Taylor for a lighter look at the EFL. Love it local this season on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Go live and local every Saturday for Pancake Parlour, EFL Game Day. For the best EFL rap on radio,
Check, 1, 2.
EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres. From 10 till 2 every Sunday morning, the EFL Media Team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the seniors, reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. The warm-up continues right here on EFL Saturday.
Welcome back out to Shrams Reserve, JJ Tully Drive in Doncaster, behind the council building, and Ray Baird's got his wish. The sun has come out here at Doncaster. Huge clash today. It's Croydon taking on the Doncaster Football Club in his top-of-the-table clash. We've spoken to both coaches. They've given their take on the game and how their sides are going thus far this season, but it's time to turn our attention for the next 20 minutes or so to go through
all the big games that are happening right throughout the eastern suburbs today. We're going to start with Division 1 as we always do, and we'll just get a few points and a quick tip for each game as we go through them. The first game we're going to have a look at is out at SEN Park today, and it's Balwyn taking on the North Ringwood Football Club. Balwyn have a number of ins this weekend in Milkhusen and Gottliebson and O'Regan, who we've all heard as players that have been great in that side for a number of times. Rennie Watts and Goldsack are out for North Ringwood. They've got a Calcedo and Anthony Sharp are out today. Anthony Sharp a big loss to the Saints. But which way do you think this one will go? Of course, Balwyn looking to bounce back, Ray.
Yeah, look, Balwyn will win this game quite easily with all those inclusions, and North Ringwood with their couple of outs. But I can see a 10-goal plus win to Balwyn here. They've got a point to prove after last week.
Yeah, Balwyn to be hungry after last week, and at home they don't get beaten, so they'll win again. Blackburn have 4 wins for the North Ringwood have 4 wins for the year, I should say, and they got those early on in the season. And since their little initiation period, which was a great start, and has just certainly kept them alive for Division 1 football for another year, you would expect. I don't think they'll have enough to take it out to against Balwyn today. I would think Balwyn would be looking at an 8-goal margin. I'm sure Brett Moyle, who's a favourite son down at the Balwyn Football Club, will be wanting to use this game as a complete learning experience for his side to see exactly how the best of the best do it. Let's have a look at the next game out at Blackburn Reserve for their big 1,000th game today for the Burners. An exciting place it will be. It will be drenched in that famous red, which we love, and they play the Montrose Football Club, who will also be wearing red. So it'll be good sights out there today. Can Blackburn pull it off in the big one today?
Yeah, look, I think Blackburn can beat Montrose. Look, Montrose were obviously fantastic last week with 17 goals to 2 after half-time against Knox, but their opposition this week going to be a little bit tougher. The reports I got out of Roval last week was that Blackburn are a team to watch. They're up and firing in this second half of the year. They've got players back. Their structures are very good, and I think that Blackburn will win this probably by about 3 goals.
Yeah, I think that, regardless of whoever wins it, it's going to be a game that sort of, I think whoever loses it sort of just drops off the pack. And in both these teams, as we've said, are really starting to get hungry, I guess, after indifferent starts to the season. Montrose a great win, and actually was what was so impressive as well. 31-7. I mean, that's fantastic. Any coach should be happy with that. But I think Blackburn at home, the occasion, the 1,000th game, and the form they're in, I think they're going to keep, just keeping pressure on those top 5 sides that we don't think will change at the end of the year. But if they can, build some form off last week and this, and possibly today, who knows what could happen. Today point game, really, isn't it? Today for these two sides,
Yeah.
both sitting just outside the 5, with 2 wins further back from Roval as well. So there is ground to make up today. The loser of this match, it might be a little bit too hard for them. I'm going the sentimental side of things. It's Blackburn to win this game on the big occasion today. So Ben Danaher, he's just playing absolutely super football. Benny Dolan, Ryan Toohey, these are great players, and it's time for them to Maxi Otten step up this afternoon and kick a winning score, and hopefully Jakey Hammond can add to his 27 that he has thus far as we turn our attention to the next game, and that's out at East Ringwood Reserve with the Roos taking on the Norwood Football Club. This might be another one-sided affair today, Ray.
Oh yeah, no doubt it will be a one-sided affair. And look, East Ringwood last week, they were in a real tight game against South Croydon where they just went down, but and maybe that took a little bit out of them as well. But look, Norwood, they're very slow starters at the start of the year, but Norwood will win this quite comfortably.
Yeah, they've made up that ground that they let slip to some of those top teams, and in last week's game against Balwyn, from all reports and just seeing the scores come in, they kept the pressure when Balwyn tried pushing on them, and they'll win again here at East Ringwood. Yeah, Lee Williams has 39 goals for the year, and Dean Point and Johnny Holmes are having ripper seasons as well. I can't see a side like Norwood going down to a side like East Ringwood at this point in stage in the year. East Ringwood only have the one victory, whereas Norwood are really starting to build some momentum as well. So expect the Norsemen to take home the points there. As we turn our attention to Knox Gardens Reserve, and you see Ray Baird just perk up in his seat a little bit there with Knox taking on the Roval Football Club today, and Knox have a lot of changes they've made, and Roval just the one with Hicks going out. How do you see this one panning out, Raymond?
Oh, look, the Roval will bounce back. They'll win this game quite comfortably. You've got to remember also, BWS, that when Roval's ground was being done up the year before last, they played at Knox, and Roval are actually undefeated at Knox in their last 9 games, I think it is. playing at Knox, so it is a home ground for Roval as well. But they'll bounce back, you know. But what that loss last week to Blackburn shook them up.
Yeah, Roval will win. What I'm more interested to see will be the response from Knox. We certainly didn't expect such a big loss, albeit away from home at Montrose, who were got a bunch of fantastic players. Schilling kicked 11, and there's a host of others. But yeah, that was a bit of a surprise, the margin and the way they lost. So I guess for Knox to be competitive will be a benchmark, I guess, for them. But yeah, I think Roval will win.
Must-win game for the Hawks, and I expect them to take home the points. Can't afford to drop those sorts of games because one side will be that little bit closer out here today amongst that division as well. So when I'm talking Blackburn and Montrose, Lilydale take on Croydon at the LSO. Is today the day that the Lilydale Falcons can take home their first win for the year, Raybed?
It certainly is, and they've got a point to prove to Wayne Brasher, because Wayne Brasher said they won't win a game on EFL Sunday last week, and the Lilydale Football Club have no doubt heard about that, and Brasher's headed off to the western suburbs today. Lilydale, this is their big chance, and look, last week South Croydon, they worked hard to get over East Ringwood, but they've only had 3 wins as well, South Croydon. I think Lilydale can get their first win on the board today.
I think they're going to do it as well. South Croydon last week, yeah, good win against East Ringwood, but I reckon they would have wanted to expect more than a 4-point victory. Lilydale, we saw that score against Noble Park. I'm pretty sure they were leading at points during the game. Inaccurate kicking, if it wasn't for that, maybe they could have pulled some ridiculous scalp over the balls. It wasn't to be, but yeah, today's a brilliant chance, and I think they're going to be hungry for a win. And South Croydon just yet to hit the straps this year, and I don't think they will at this rate. 10 rounds in, haven't quite found it, and they're sort of just going to sit on that the way they've been playing. So Lilydale for me.
Yeah, it's we want the good story, don't we? They deserve a win. South Croydon, well, I'm sorry, you've already got 3. You've already got 3 wins for the year, so you can give one away to Lilydale, but you won't give it away because they will earn it if they take home the points. And I tell you what, it'll be great scenes if they can get it today. Expect it to be a close game though. They always are at the LSO. Vermont versus Noble Park. What an absolute cracker this one is down Tarara Road out at Vermont. There'll be a monster crowd down at that game, as Kirkby Road here. He'll be keeping us up to date with live tweets right throughout the day, so you'll hear them right across our airwaves. Final game in Division 1. Who is going to win this one? This is an absolute cracker at second versus third.
Yeah, second versus third. Look, I'm going to pick Vermont. I think that at home they're a far better side than playing away, but even having said that, look, they're flying at the moment, Vermont. Noble Park's form's been up and down just a little bit, and I just think Vermont will win this game.
Yeah, the Bulls going through a questionable patch over the last couple of weeks. We know that big game, Queen's birthday against Baldwin, they had a fair few outs, but last week only the 15-point victory. So Vermont have got them at a fantastic time, and as you said, they're in fantastic form, and at home I think they're going to win. And I don't know, maybe not a blowout, but we could maybe see a 40-50 point sort of victory, and that would be really good for percentage in terms of where these teams are going to be finishing, considering how competitive that top 5's been all year.
Oh, that's a big call, Josh. 40 to 50 points. I was thinking more like 3 goals at the most. I just think it'll be.
I don't know. I'm not going to claim to be an expert on Division 1, but just looking at the results and how Noble Park have been playing, I think they may be going through a bit of a rough patch, and I think Vermont, could run over the top of them. But no, I guess we'll see how it goes. We'll
see who's the wiser man, or what generation's wiser at the end of the day.
So you're going to sit on the fence, eh?
I'm another generation altogether.
Well, what margin are you? What margin are you predicting, BWS?
I think Vermont will win by 2 goals. So short and sharp, but homegrown.
So you're close. What you're saying?
Homegrown advantage, easy way out.
What you're saying is you're closer to my generation than Josh is.
Not even close. But good one. I like it. Division 2 time. First game we'll have a look at is out at the MCG of the Eastern Football League. The Bayswater Oval as they take on Mulgrave, and these two sides have had a number of good clashes over the years. Ray Baird, especially in recent seasons. Who's going to take home the points today?
Well, look, Mulgrave were very good last week in their win, but look, Bayswater, they started the season off flying, winning their first 3 or 4 games of the season, but then they've dropped off a little bit. But look, they played at Bayswater Oval very well, and Mulgrave tend to struggle out there a little bit, although they did win a couple of night games out there in the round ones in the last couple of seasons. But no, I'm going to pick Bayswater in a close one.
must win for Bayswater at home, this one, and they should do it pretty comfortably. Mulgrave haven't been a shadow of the team they were last season, and with Waverley and Wanturna South, and I guess Mirrabak probably not going to be able to pinch finals, but they'll be pressing, and Bayswater have to win this one, and they will.
Well, they've just got the better form, don't they? And that's where you've got to go, and you've got to pick them, especially on the home ground. Joel Galvin brought him up so many times, having a great season, and Jackie Callanan and Hayden Schroeder. So they've got the cattle to do it today. Bayswater currently sitting just inside the 4, and with Waverley Blues taking on Donny East today, which they certainly are very capable of winning. Bayswater cannot afford to lose this game, so I think the home side will take home the points there as we look at the next game, and that is East Burwood, who take on Mooroolbark out at East Burwood Reserve today. Ray, two sides who have struggled a little bit this year. Of course, East Burwood have only got 2 wins on the board. They sit second on the bottom of the ladder, and East Burwood the Mooroolbark side aren't too far ahead of them with the 3 wins.
Yeah, no, look, and I'm going for home ground advantage here. I think East Burwood at home can beat Mooroolbark. Mooroolbark, to me, you look at their side on paper and it looks pretty good, but they don't perform. They don't perform in bigger games. And look, this is a big game because if they lose this, well, they drop way off. But East Burwood for mine.
Yeah, and Carl Peterson out for the Barkers. He hasn't had as standout at the start of the year as he did last year, but losing that is pretty big. And I'm going to agree with you, Ray, there. I think East Burwood, they weren't too bad from all reports last week against Donny East, and they're a really hard-working sort of blue-collar team. And I don't mind that tip. I think East Burwood at home against Mooroolbark, it's a great chance for another win for them, and it would bring them to both 3 wins apiece. So that'd be great for the Rams. So I'm going to tip them as well.
Yeah, we're all quite chummy here today on EFL pre-match. I agree once again. This is getting a little bit scary, Ray. East Burwood, both sides have actually played pretty good footy over the last month. Mooroolbark winning and then losing a close one. East Burwood getting their couple of wins. So who knows? Mooroolbark got spanked by Donny.
But Mooroolbark's one of your favourite teams.
I like all teams, but Mooroolbark is right up there. Mooroolbark's right up there.
Just cosy with everyone.
Exactly. Scoresby and Wanturna South out at Scoresby Recreation Reserve. What's their record like out there today, Ray?
Look, Scoresby for mine. I think I've selected them 3 times this year, and they've let me down. Yeah, they've let me down every time, so I'm not picking them this week.
I thought you were.
No, Wanturna South will be seething after that 1-point loss last week to the Waverley Blues, and Wanturna South, they got a point to prove, and they'll win really comfortably today.
Yeah, simple, straight up and down the Devils for me.
Yeah, 1 game outside the top 4, so this is one of those must-win situations. The Waverley Blues versus Doncaster East out at Mount Waverley Reserve. This is going to be a fantastic clash if recent hit-outs between these two sides are anything to go by, and home ground advantage might come into play here. Josh, I know you were out there this morning playing. What's the ground look like, and are the boys fired up down at Doncaster East this week?
Yeah, they are. The ground was actually not too bad, Nick. A bit choppy. First time I've ever played out there, but nice big ground which will suit the Lions. Last week, something that was super impressive was the spread of goal kickers. Dean Limback sort of went off with a little bit of a knee concern. He'll be fine for today, but he only kicked 3, but it was 11 other goal kickers across the board which contributed, and that's been, I guess, a question posed towards the Lions this year, whether or not they have the spread if Limback gets held, but they certainly did last week, and Jackie Shalakis and Matty Viano, these sort of guys can always pop forward and kick some dangerous goals. The last couple of games against Waverley, as you said, I think Coach Steve Buckle was talking about it, and he was saying that I think it might have been last 5 games have all been decided by around that 10-point sort of margin. Whatever the stat is, it's been close, but I think today's going to break that. I think it's going to be a comfortable win to the Lions, and I think it might be 7-8 goals.
Josh, just on that ground, the centre cricket area, was that black and sticky and muddy?
No, it wasn't too bad. So it wasn't as nice as it is out here at Shrams, but it certainly wasn't But I mean, this was in the morning, so I guess after my game and you get a reserves game, it might sort of chop up a little bit for the seniors. So
Tim Whitty's big out for Doncaster East. Is he injured?
Yeah, injury for Whitty. Not 100% sure on the injury, but picked it up late. I think it might have been ankle or something. Picked it up late in the game last week against East Burwood. Not long term, thankfully, but gives a chance for. I think Jackie Martin came in for him, so it gives a couple of other guys a chance who have been playing well in the Rezzies.
Almost speaking of the Rezzies, it's almost time on here in the final term out at Doncaster versus Croydon, and it's the away side leading by 25 points, 68 to 43. Ray?
Yeah, look, what can I say? I'm going to agree with you guys. I think that Donny Limback can get over the line today. and I say Donny Limback because I agree with what Josh says. I think he's in for a big day today, and I think he'll be the difference between the two sides. And, for mine, Doncaster East.
Massive danger game it is, but sticking with the Lions, they're in good form. Let's have a look at Division 3, Mitcham versus Churnside Park. This should be a pretty comfortable victory you would expect for the Tigers.
Yeah, no doubt. Look, Mitcham at home, too good for Churnside.
Yeah, easy Mitcham for me as well.
Yeah, well, they've won 9 games straight, haven't they? So you'd be a crazy man to tip against them. Ringwood versus Sylvan out at Jubilee Park. This could be interesting, Ray. I know you've been disappointed with the Cats this year.
I have totally been disappointed with them, and Ringwood, they're on a bit of a roll at the moment, and I think Ringwood will win this game.
Yeah, I'm on the back of Ringwood as well. They've sort of picked up a little bit after a slow start to the year and got a lot more to prove than they did in those first couple of rounds. So, yeah, I think they'll beat Sylvan pretty comfortably.
Yeah, you'd expect so, wouldn't you? And especially an impressive 40-point win over Baronia last week, Ray, who you'd hailed as a force only weeks before at the same ground, but they got shown up last week, and a very impressive win. You can't go past the Redbacks.
No, that's for sure.
Exactly. Let's have a look at the next game, and that's a segue into the Baronia, the Basin game. Another game out at Tormore. Can they bounce back?
No, they can't. They're going to get touched up by the Basin today. The Basin's got too many forwards, too many good players across the centre of the line. Baronia, they play that defensive shutdown style, and they won't shut the Basin down. Basin for mine.
Yeah, they torched Whitehorse last week, the Basin, and I think the Bears are going to do close to the same, maybe not to the extent of 115 points, but still a comfortable win.
They'll certainly try to shut the game down, the Baronia side today. I think this game will be very close. It might even be just like the 60 to type 70 point, not point margin, but both scores. I don't know. I got a funny feeling today about the Baronia side. I think they can bounce back. In saying that, I'm just going to be soft because my tipping's been woeful. So I'm going to stick with the Basin to take home these points. But it's such an important game because there's
that's having $1 each way.
I just told you what it was.
I feel like this, but I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it is. I gave you my reasons as well. So
just keeping everyone happy.
Four teams have 4 wins for the season, so it just shows how important it is for these sides on this mark, because it's our spot number 5 is certainly up for grabs, because we all expect Mitcham, the Basin, Upper and Tempe to make it at this stage of the season, although they're only 2 games behind the rest of those sides. But who will know? Upper Ferntree Gully in the game of the round in Division 3 take on Templestowe today at Kings Park.
Look, Templestowe have been very good. They've won their last 3, but today I just think the big wide open spaces of Upper Ferntree Gully, Upper Ferntree Gully have had a bit of winning form of recent times. I think Upper Gully will get Tempe today.
Yeah, I think I'm going to tip Templestowe here, but it's a doubtful tip because Upper Gully have been a very big surprise packet this season, and I just don't feel that Upper Gully have been able to kick at times a big enough score, and I mean, in saying that though, the percentages, they've kicked just as many points as Templestowe this year, so I don't know what I'm saying now, so I'm just going to tip Templestowe.
Going for 4 games in a row, Templestowe, and I've been impressed with their form over that last month as well, and I think winning form's good form, and though both sides have winning form, so that makes that call a little bit redundant, but I'm going for the away side because I just have one of those feelings. Templestowe, they've got a number of players that are coming back in. Anthony Soriano, who started off in great form for the club this year, he's back into the side this week, and Brad Riddle as well, and Ryan Baines. There's some big ins. There's big ins for the Templestowe side today, and when they've been winning, missing a couple of these players over recent weeks, they've still got the job done. So they get the points. Whitehorse take on Heathmont out at your favourite neck of the woods, Ray, Springfield Park today. Who's going to take home the points?
Well, I saw Heathmont last week against South Belgrave. They were okay for half of the game, but then they got completely blown out of the water. Whitehorse have been starting off very slow, but coming home as well. Look, I'm going to stick with my boys. I think Whitehorse can get them, only because it's at Whitehorse.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree. I think Heathmont are going to win. I think Whitehorse, yes, they've got the tendency to be strong finishers, but I think they're just not in the right sort of form at the moment. And Heathmont have shown a lot better than how they played against South Belgrave last week. So yeah, I'm going to back the Jets.
Well, Heathmont will win this game today, and they could very well find themselves inside the top 5 as well after 10 rounds, and after round 5 we'd completely written them off as well. So that would be a great thing to see at halfway through the year and prove Ray Baird wrong, because we all like to do that. It's but they're away from the hangar. They're a better side, and they'll take home the points. There's no doubt about it. South Belgrave head to Domini Reserve. Park Orchard's taking on South Belgrave today. Can Frosty's boys get up?
I think they can. I saw them last week, and their tackling was ferocious. They absolutely harassed the Heathmont side, and I believe they'll do that again to Park Orchard. Park Orchard, a very good young running side, but I think South Belgrave will win in a very close one.
Yeah, I don't mind that tip. I think South Belgrave, I mean, you look at in terms of the ladder, how important this game is with the Basin playing Baronia. If Baronia lose, the winner of this team will jump into the top 5. So, this is another 8-point game, I guess, in speaking about, where we are at this point in the year. I think South Belgrave have been finding their form now, and Park Orchards have sort of dropped a little after maybe picking up a couple of surprise victories. So, going purely on form, I'm going to have to say the Saints as well.
I think Park Orchards had a really good game against Mitcham last week. I think a lot of people expected 80 points plus, but they only lost by about 40 in the end, so that's encouraging signs for them. I just don't trust them enough. They haven't been around long enough to these type of games to know whether or not I can back them in this game. And South Belgrave, well, they know that their season is on the line as far as this afternoon goes. So, because they really haven't had the form, I'd say Park Orchards have had the better form than South Belgrave, but they've got a better team on the park today. I think that they might just get the job done. Let's quickly go through Division 4. Kilsyth take on Coldstream out at Pinks Reserve today. Coldstream in this one, Ray?
Yeah, Coldstream for mine. They'll bounce back after being defeated by Forest Hill last week.
Kilsyth been good, but yeah, Coldstream for me too.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that one. The Coldstream side doing extremely well, 7 wins for the year and only the 2 losses. They're 1 game behind Warrandyte, so they're in that top couple, and a good side to look at, which we will do in about 4 weeks' time. Looking forward to that one, but we'll announce that closer to the date. Nuttawading take on Donvale today. The Titans take on Brendan Favola Donvale this afternoon, Ray.
Yeah, and Donvale last week couldn't get over the line with your man Favola in the side, and they won't get near the Titans.
My man Favola?
Yeah, you were all over him last week.
Yeah, we saw Donvale really take it to the Hawks for 3/4 of footy, but you take Favola out of that side, and you'd be expecting a much bigger performance from Matty Sutherland, who was probably thrown by not playing in his proper position. But I think the Titans at home will win this.
Someone suggested to me that someone offering a Jim B to Favola on Twitter was you, BWS, and I said, no way, you would not offer anyone one drop out of your can.
Oh dear. Nuttawading with this game. Surrey Park versus Hertford Gully out at Surrey Park Reserve. 2 sides who are right down the tail of the ladder, and is today the day Surrey Park can snatch a win?
No, look, it's a big chance for them, but look, Frenchie Gully have been disappointing. To me, the most disappointing side in Division 4, but no, I think they'll get the points over Surrey.
Why do you say the most disappointing?
Because I predicted them to play finals, and they've only won 3 games.
He's cut because they've made you wrong.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, no, equals for me as well.
Yeah, you can't go past them because Surrey just haven't had the cattle to get the job done, and we've backed them a few times this year hoping for that result, but they need to win 1 game and surprise me before I back them again. The Eastern Lions, who have returned to recent form, take on Forest Hill, who themselves are just going, hey, everyone else in Division 4, we're still here.
Yeah, they're still here, but they're playing a top 4 side, and they'll be too good, Forest Hill.
Yeah, that was a really good win last week against Coldstream, considering that Coldstream had taken it to Warrandyte just the week before, I guess, the round before, with the bye being in between those 2 games. And the Zebs for me.
Yeah, I'm on the same line there. Eastern Lions, they're one of my sides, aren't they, Ray? But I'll tell you what, Forest Hill are in a ripper form at the moment, and I think they're going to take a lot of beating, Forest Hill, and something tells me something's quite right with that football club. Warrandyte and the Glen Waverley Hawks at Warrandyte Reserve. Now, I tell you what, this is a good game. I segued you every single time, Ray, so you know that it's you that talks.
Yeah, I know, but you said this is a good game, that's all. Okay, I thought you were going to add to that. Yeah, it is a good game, and look, Glen Waverley Hawks going for 6 in a row, but unfortunately, I think Warrandyte at home will be too strong.
Yeah, Warrandyte at home are really strong, but Glen Waverley Hawks were just really solid last week. You know, they've got a good spread of small and, you know, tallish sort of players. You've got some really good leaders and hard nuts there that don't mind putting their head over the ball. But yeah, in saying that, Warrandyte they're just so versatile, and they've just got such a strong team that, you know, that they should win this one. But yeah, expect a bit of a fight from the Hawks.
I think it should be a very, very good game, but well, you got to go for the top side in that type of form, don't you? And that's the Warrandyte Football Club, and you expect them to take home the points. No change to their side today as well. Final siren out here in the reserves, and it's Croydon taking this game home by 19 points, 11-9-75. Doncaster 8-8-56. So the big show is not too far away. I hope you've enjoyed the EFL Gameday pre-match show brought to you by the Pancake Parlour. Isn't it lovely? Josh Dawe and Ray Baird, thanks for your insights. And we'll be looking forward to this game only in a matter of moments, yeah?
Very, very much so, very much so. Going to be great.
Well, it's time to cross back to Barry Cotts in the Radio Eastern studios and get the A-team ensemble here behind the goals in the magnificent Doncaster club rooms. Back to Barry Cotts, and we'll be back with the action right after this.
John always said his send-off would be different. He wasn't wrong. He was a fun-loving guy who had a passion for flying. So last week, John's family and closest friends celebrated his life on a charter flight over the Yarra Valley. They took in the breathtaking views, enjoyed a glass of bubbles, and told lots of stories.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, our motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. So celebrate your life the way you want. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Hey man. Yeah man, it's crunch time. Is that footy speak? Nah man, it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour with the salted caramel crunch.
Oh yeah, house-made warm salted caramel sauce and roasted almonds on 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah man, it's crunch time at the G, and then it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour.
So this is footy speak then?
I'm just saying man, like the salted caramel crunch would be great to have after a day at the footy.
Oh, Pancake Parlour open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
What was wrong with you blokes yesterday? You were playing like you'd been stuck in traffic for an hour before getting to the game.
Coach, there was a railway crossing gate down for ages.
The other mob thrashed us. You ran out of legs.
They all have breeze tags, Coach. They use EastLink. They get to focus on the match rather than focus on inching forward in the traffic.
Get a breeze tag and use EastLink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. EastLink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
For comprehensive EFL video coverage, head to efl.org.au and check out our EFL TV portal. Don't miss The Agenda every week for all the latest news from right around the Eastern Football League. And you can get involved by voting for your favourite EFL Play of the Week. EFL TV, love it local 24/7 at efl.org.au. EFL mobile web app. Own a smartphone and love the EFL? Then the EFL mobile web app is a must for you. Go to m.efl.org.au to access fixtures, results and ladders for all EFL grades. You can also receive live around the ground scores every Saturday afternoon from the palm of your hand and contribute to the mighty EFL forum while you're online. Download the EFL mobile web app to go live and local for your footy, right from the palm of your hand. EFL.org.au is a must visit for the die-hard Eastern Football League fan. In our news section, check out the latest news, feature articles and video programs, including the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos. Best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to efl.org.au. On EFL Saturday, it's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
EFL Gameday out at Doncaster Reserve this afternoon. Top of the table clash in Division 2. It is the Doncaster Football Club taking on the Croydon Football Club. In the reserves, it was the Blues beating the Sharks by 19 points. You've just jumped in your car. We've had our pre-match show. We've spoken to both coaches. We're excited as both these football clubs are, and a couple of other gentlemen who are just as happy as they bounce their way into these Doncaster club rooms are our two gurus on the EFL Media Team. They've been here the longest. They know the most. And we'll start with the dulcet tones of Brad Henderson, who joins me in the co-commentator's chair today.
Yeah, thanks very much, BWS. Great to be back out at Shrems Reserve. First time I've called a game here for a few years, and it's a bit of a different vantage point we have this afternoon behind the goals, but at the same time, it's a pretty good place to be when Doncaster are playing well, kicking to this end of the ground. The crowd are get up and about, and it could be a pretty good atmosphere this afternoon if Doncaster play to their best.
Have you had a chance to have a look at either of these sides yet this season?
Yeah, I've actually seen Doncaster twice this year. We did the radio game out at Mulgrave a couple of weeks ago, the Beyond Blue Cup game. They were pretty awesome that day, and I also saw them back in round 2 against Doncaster East in the local derby that day. So I've seen them twice this year, and both days they were very impressive.
Introduce our stats man, Grant Soupy Campbell. It's great to have you on board as always, mate.
Good afternoon, BWS, and I wasn't really bouncing here. I had a bit of a raised rant coming about because the parking restrictions in the roads nearby are just a little annoying. You know, get the local fans in, give them the opportunity to park in the streets nearby rather than saying, no, you can't park here.
Where'd you park?
I ended up getting a parker all right, but it took me about 10 minutes to find one, so I'm not happy with local council. So Ray, I'm taking your rant this week.
Soupy, if you drive right down the bottom, there's a huge car park. You can't see it there because it's below the ground level.
I should have taken that advice, but I didn't know it at the start. But looking at the game...
Instead you decided to sook up.
Yeah, someone had to.
So that's called Soupy Sooks, is it?
Croydon have won 29 quarters this year, Doncaster 27. Look out for the third quarter, both have been exceptional. Croydon have won all 9, Doncaster have won 8 out of 9. Of course, that only one they've lost was against Croydon. Croydon's goal kicking accuracy been a real strength, 56.1%, the best in Division 2, and neither side has conceded 100 points in a game this season. So even though we're missing a few stars, I think there's still plenty of talent out there, and I'm expecting a close game. I'll go at Croydon by 2 goals.
Looking forward to seeing a Blues jumper take home the 4 points this afternoon, no doubt.
It's about the only chance I've got, so yeah.
Well, it's great to have back on board our LifeCare boundary riders who went AWOL for a little while, not to any fault of their own, but they're back on board this week, and it's great to have Esmond, Aponso and Lachlan Munro down boundary side. It's time to cross down for the first time this afternoon, thanks to LifeCare.
Good afternoon, BWS and all the listeners. Yes, looking forward to a great game today. I think I'm looking after Croydon today, and I think they could just probably get the points out this afternoon. They haven't done anything wrong this season, and I'll just hand over to Lockie.
Riding shotgun today, and who do you like today, Lockie?
I'm going to back Doncaster today. Don't know why. Just think they'll get it up. Pretty excited for this top of the table clash.
Well, keep us up to date with everything that's down there. What's the ground condition like? Because up here in the club rooms, it looks pretty impressive underfoot.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Nothing wrong with it at all, really.
Special comments coming from the boundary line this afternoon, there's no doubt about that. Thanks to LifeCare, we'll be crossing down to the boys consistently throughout the afternoon. We're only moments away from getting into this match. Brad Henderson?
I just wanted to mention to the boundary riders, you get on the job early because we've got a number 63 out there for Doncaster. I'd like to know who's wearing the 63 jumper for the Sharks today.
I'm sure they'll get onto that as soon as they can. Josh Dawe, your tip this afternoon and why?
Yeah, look, Croydon have been fantastic all year, haven't put a foot wrong, and I think the outs for Doncaster, whilst they've shown that they've got a couple of players that are going to be able to come up and replace them, I think Croydon are going to be too strong, and they're going to win by 4 goals today.
How about you, Grant Campbell? Oh, you already given your tip. You did that perfectly before. Brad Henderson, what's your final say?
Tipping Croydon this afternoon. I think the outs for Doncaster are really going to hurt them. I know Croydon have got a couple of great players out as well, but I reckon Doncaster probably rely just on that top 5 or 6 players that they have a little bit more. Croydon a very even side. I think they'll cover for the loss of Wynett and Kimpton, and of course Jamie Hoffman, who's out for the rest of the year. They'll be able to cover that better than the Sharks will today with the elite players that they have out of the side.
And how about you, Ray Baird?
Yeah, I'm exactly what Brad just said. I just think that Croydon, they're not on top of the ladder for no reason. They just keep going on, and those Anarchis and Thompson are huge losses.
Crossing down boundary side, thanks to LifeCare, we've got a jumper update.
Yeah, definitely. Number 63 is Matt Carlson today.
So Matty Carlson, well, he was wearing number 58 on our sheet, so he's just gone up another 5. Here's Brad Henderson to take us away with all the action on EFL Gameday.
Umpire gets us underway. It's McKenzie. Paddle it on to Batista, but the boundary line was beckoning, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Very nicely, Josh Bolden. He's more than adept in that capacity. This is Travers for the Blues. Forced onto his non-dominant side, the left. Looking for Fitcher, really. Almost took the mark. Had McKenzie in opposition, surprisingly, on that time. The big ruckman did well to help out his defence. Malloy's kick, bit of a floater up towards Muller. Muller kicks it around the corner towards full forward, but again the Blues are able to steady through Thatcher, and they dodge a bullet once more. It's pretty untidy by the Sharks going forward. They're getting plenty of the footy, but they're just not able to hit any targets as Green lays it off to Todd, onto Higgins. Very low kick by Higgins was intended for Jared Clark. Clark was forced to go 1-on-2. Yep. And finally there is a ball up, pretty much almost the first stoppage of the game, apart from a couple of boundary throw-ins in the first 20 seconds or so. We've gone 2.5 minutes out here at Shreem's Reserve, and there's no score thus far.
Let's cross down boundary side, thanks to LifeCare.
Yeah, Jaden Hooper came down holding his right rib cage. We'll keep you updated on what's going on there.
Great stuff, Lockie. Jaden Hooper having a sensational season, Brad, and been looking forward to what he's going to put down on the park today. Rucks go at it. It was knocked down there by Green, and now they link up okay here. Kalachek inside forward 50 for the Sharks, and getting down and taking a very solid mark in the forward line. I couldn't quite pick up who that was. Good start here. We're always at the other end of the ground when you've put under the pump. Matthew Sheen it is who took that mark there, so he'll have a shot on goal from about 40 metres at best. It's a difficult angle, first genuine chance for either side. He keeps it low and he keeps it straight. That's a fantastic kick. First goal on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard goes to the home side, the Doncaster Football Club. Matty Sheen has won, and so do the Sharks. 1 straight 6 to no score for Croydon. We've gone 3 minutes, so a little bit stop-starty there. It was an interesting start.
Yeah, look, it was probably the first clean possession that got that ball from the centre wing there, and the leading forward Sheen marked it on the run. And look, it's probably been about 300 hand passes to 2 kicks so far in the game.
Back in the middle once more, the Blues almost won the clearance, but it was taken away by Sia Cavallis for Doncaster. His kick, though, certainly missed the intended target. High ball up towards the wing. Bolton, the target for the Blues. Knocks it on. Carroll puts his head over the footy. Zach Carroll now gathers it in. He's such a polished player, and this is no exception. A lovely kick. Gave Coleman every chance to, then gave it off to Galache. A little bit untidy coming through the middle again, and Steve Muller there caught with the footy.
Very scrambly so far for the first 4.5 minutes.
Umpire throws it up. We'll go to Soupy in just a moment, thanks to Choose Tap. Little handball by Carroll was intercepted. Clark working hard for the Blues, and once again it will be a ball up in the middle. With thanks to Choose Tap, Grant Campbell.
First 5 clearances have gone all to Doncaster.
McKenzie won the tap down, but it was taken by Ma, who had his kick smothered. Had Travers in support. He's all wrapped up, and there's a free kick for a high tackle over the shoulder. Then the free kick will go to Patrick Travers, who's the leading goal kicker in Division 2 of all the players who are out on the field this afternoon, with Brendan Wynett and Nathan Thompson both absent, of course. Patrick Travers having a terrific season for the Blues. Deep in defence, the Sharks under a bit of pressure, but Malloy kept a cool head, although his handball was very untidy, intended for Pearson. Rambaldi had his kick smothered. McGarnis scrounges out a little kick. It's intercepted by Wilkins, and Matty Wilkins showed great composure while everybody else was panicking around him. He slots through a very cool goal, and Croydon get their first on the board. Scores level, 6 minutes gone, first quarter.
Yeah, a bit of an error there by Jay Pearson down back. Had a bit more space and time than he probably thought, and tried paddling it away. And there was a couple of times. There was another runner down there. I think it might have been David Malloy a few times now, just rushing when trying to come out the back. And if you turn it over down there, the amount of skill down in that Croydon forward line is going to make you pay, just as they did this then.
Crowd's building. It's all level here. We've gone 6 minutes in the first term. Carroll comes down, picked up there by Travers. Little handball out wide to Andrew Hughes, who had a leaping handball over the top there. Back to Travers. Turned his opponent inside out and kicked it up towards the Wilkins direction. Well, he got paid the mark, but he almost coughed it up there. Schimmelbusch right on his hammer. Short option was Bolton screaming for the football, but he wants to probably go for the longer option there towards the Van Florenstein direction, who's going to have a big ride over the back. It was knocked away from him, hits the boundary, picked up there by Ficcarelli with the centering kick going up towards the Clark direction. And a very nicely done by the Doncaster defence to knock that ball over, and that was Monks who got the timely fist on the ball. So it's in the forward pocket now. Well, it is because it was a behind. I thought that actually had gone out of bounds. So it is Croydon leading this one, 1-1-7. 7 minutes gone here in the first term, and it will be Scotland to bring the football in, and he drives the ball out towards the Mackenzie direction. Over the top of his head it goes, but Galache was there to clean up on the spills. Somehow kept the ball alive. He'll go back to Mackenzie, back to Galache. Turned himself into a little bit of traffic there. Got the handball away to Carroll, who had a look away kick and up towards the centre half forward line and needed a favourable bounce, and they got one. Here's Coleman on the left boot, drives the ball out to about 30 metres out, and Jimmy Grant just chops up nicely. Well, turned himself into a fair bit of trouble here, but the Blues switch the play out to the far side, looking for the lead there of Todd of the Lachlan variety, and over she goes for a boundary throwing 40 metres out from the Doncaster goals. They trail by 1 point on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Doncaster going forward pretty dangerously with the ball already, a bit more than Croydon, which will be good for Andrew Tranquilli. He'll be happy with the way they've moved the ball at the moment.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to LifeCare.
Yeah, just an update on Jaden Hooper. He's just had a few stretches around his rib cage, and he seems all ready to go. He's on ground now.
Good to hear.
So boundary throw in, just 1 point the margin still, a bit of a delay, but we've got the ball back now. It was Coleman who fisted it decisively out of that ruck contest. Didn't favour his side though. The ball now with Kyle Maher for the Blues. Chooses to switch. Across to the other side of the field and finds Haag. Nathan Haag, short pass. Got it to Todd. Michael Todd goes short as well. Left footer. Looking for his teammate there in Dixon, and the boundary line is the victor this time. So boundary throw in right in front of the interchange area. Thrown back into play. Jarvis this time going up in the ruck contest for the Sharks. And Todd takes possession. So 1 goal apiece, and just a 1 point lead at this stage as for Croydon as the kick comes to centre half forward. This is Haag once more taking possession, but he's immediately wrapped up. Umpire throws it up now. Coleman. It's not really ruck size, Nick Coleman, but he's got a great leap, so he's quite handy when he goes up for the ruck contest. Does so again this time and wins it. Higgins tries to take possession, but he had his pocket picked by Sheen, and Matty Sheen's kicked a great goal for the Sharks. He's got his second. It is Matty Sheen. Sorry, Matthew Sheen has 2 goals on the board. Doncaster 2 straight goals. Croydon 1-1-7. Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, already you can see Doncaster just being a little bit more fierce and attacking on the ball, and it was showed in that little bit of patch of play just at the top of the 50 of Doncaster's forward line, able to lock it in and win the clearance as they have already, and a great finish by Matthew Sheen around the body.
Goal for goal out here. Keep us up to date at around the eastern suburbs at Footy EFL if you're on Twitter. We'll keep everybody up to date with all those important scores. This time it's Jarvis. Humphrey up against Van Florenstein in the middle. Picked up there by Carroll, got dispossessed of the football. Handball out to Hooper, who's back on the ground and dumped straight away. So we'll have a restart in the middle of Shram's Reserve. The crowd is building. Atmosphere is probably a little bit lacking to what I probably expected, but as we know, Soupy said you can't get a car park, so they're probably still making their way in. The kick by Travers up towards the half-forward line. He was looking there for Clark, but it got knocked away from him. They'll get a second chance, though. The Blues, the kick goes in towards the Ficcarelli direction. Right on his hammer out there was Malloy. Forced the football out, and the umpire, Geordie Buckingham, comes in and says it was a free kick for a high tackle on Angelo Romboldi, who's got the task of Brad Callagher this afternoon.
That was good by Ramboldi. Just got first to the ball, and if you're going to get first to the ball, you'll get the free kicks. That's the intensity they're going to have to bring all day, these Doncaster backs, because there's some real dangerous players in that Croydon forward line.
I think Kyle Maher's going off with a blood rule. I think that's the hold-up in play at the moment.
Correct.
As he makes his way over, and we're close to a restart out here. 11 and a half minutes gone in the first term, and it's a 5-point lead to the home side. It's Doncaster with the football as well in the back pocket. Well, the short pass was on, and it was a good one. Heath Scotland demanded the football, and he took the mark. Kicks it up towards the wing position now. That's okay. And doing it in bits and pieces. James Sia-Cavallis has the football. Been a good player for a while. Drives the ball up towards the wing position. A big pack forms, but nobody really wanted it. And here's Aaron Fiora on the handball. Kicks it up towards centre half forward. It was a skew-if type of kick. He was looking there for Carroll, who couldn't quite pick the football up. The Blues have got the numbers. Jimmy Grant, little handball over the top. That was good play there. Bentley linking up there well with Andrew Hughes in the middle of the ground. Put his teammate under a fair bit of pressure there. The ball scoots out, and now the Sharks will have a chance to go forward. Carroll caught one in the back, got it away to Sia-Cavallis, who swings out wide to Schimmelbusch, who could almost kick it from that distance, but he pops it up to the hot spot. It's a 3-on-1 situation. Grant has the spoil, and Zach Higgins is in there as well, forcing the ball up, and it's only 15 metres out now from the Doncaster goal line, who currently lead it by 5 points. A lot of players around this football too. Oh, nicely done there. That was a perfect knockdown by Coleman straight into the arms of Raymond, and he puts through his first goal of the afternoon, and that is the third for the Doncaster team on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They are 3 straight 18. Croydon 117.
Doncaster copped a lucky break there. Croydon was certainly out with a flow of handballs, but that midfielder just slipped over, and the turnover came, and Doncaster were able to replicate that fast-moving work through the middle. And just once again, their work in the forward line from the stoppage has been great. Those stats, as we mentioned earlier, the clearances, I'm sure they'll be very high in Doncaster's favour. They seem to be winning the midfield battle early.
Speaking of stats, Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tab.
The clearances are now 8-4 in favour of Doncaster. The hit-outs 11-4 in favour of them also. Inside 50s 8-5 their way.
11-point lead then to Doncaster. 3 straight goals on the board. Croydon 117 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Carlson there taking possession, and the umpire says that was fair tackle, so no free kick. Good to see Matt Carlson back in the Doncaster side. Didn't play last year at all. This is Taylor, I should say. Jake Taylor, high up and under kick. Clark was the target, went to ground. Little handball was shot out by Bolden, got it to Wilkins. Pearson's clearing kick for the Sharks was effective. Wasn't pretty, but as I said, it was effective, and in the end it's found the boundary line. Always seems to play well when I see Doncaster. Jay Pearson, one of those players who seems to have a good game when the EFL caravan rolls in. Much like Zach Carroll, who I think has taken about, according to Dyson Baker, I think he's claimed 3 or 4 Best on Ground awards at different Doncaster games that the team's been out to see in the last couple of years. Little handball over the top, close to the boundary line, working hard here the Blues, and over the line in front of Wilkins.
2-point lead to the Montrose Football Club against Blackburn at the moment, and also a 2-point lead to Noble Park over Vermont.
Schimmelbusch takes possession now for the Sharks. Bit of a floating kick, but it was okay. Worked out all right then for Doncaster, up towards the wing, where the mark was held by Muller, who's in good form, coming off a 5-goal haul last week, but that wasn't a great kick by Muller. It's marked back there by Thatcher. Goes short to Lockie Todd. Todd's short kick, a very careful one, found Bolton. Kick to Clark on a long lead, does well, takes the mark, gives it off to Michael Todd. Todd's kick to the pocket, Fitzroy the target, tries to gather it in now. Backpedals with the handball to Hughes, under pressure, little handball out to Haag. Nathan Haag's little give was pretty effective. bit of time and space here for the Blues. The kick to full forward by Dixon. And I think Scotland, must have thought about running it through the goals, but decided against it and shows his class with a lovely kick, which finds Ewan McKenzie hard against the boundary line for the Sharks.
So it'll be Frankie on the right boot. It was dangerous. He kicked it right across the face of goal, and it was touched just in the nick of time. I think it might have even been Batista down there who got a hand on it, but we'll have a boundary throw in. It's deep in Croydon's forward line. They trail by 11 points. 16 minutes gone here in the first term of EFL Gameday. Umpire throws it in at the back there. Well done there by Clark. Little snap to no avail. Croydon pick it up. Higgins, it was chopped off there, not far enough. Pearson on the right boot. It was a bit of a helicopter floating punt kicking towards the middle of the ground where Green had position A. He's looking sideways, then doubles back, and they might go straight here now. The Blues, a little knock on over the top there for Bolton. He was quickly wrapped up in a Colossimo tackle, and we'll have ball up, almost true centre half forward for Croydon. Pyer starts the game again. McKenzie handball out. Schimmelbusch just got boot to ball, and it was a pretty good tackle too, picked up there by Bentley. He got a handball away, and now the Blues can kick forward. Here comes Callagher. He might get a sit, but standing in position A was Carroll. He probably should have dropped that one. A little bit of Butterfinger situation. Taylor goes out wide, and now the Blues go towards the Fitzroy direction. He scoops on the ball. He's got an opponent there in Scotland right on his hammer, but he picks it up eventually now. He has a little bit of time. Grubber kick. Which way is this one going to bounce? McGarnis, he got a nice fist on it. Trapped the football. Coolhead in a tough situation. Handball over to Carroll. They're doing it in bits and pieces. Here's Malloy now on the right boot up towards the wing position. Far side of Schramm's reserve. The intended target there was Steve Muller. Right on his hammer was Thatcher, who tried to keep the ball alive. Over she goes for a boundary throw in.
Paul Newland, I don't think he'd be very happy with the Croydon side at the moment. I know that Doncaster is putting a lot of pressure on him, but to me, there's too many handballs. They've got to put the ball to foot sometimes.
Kenzie and Green to go out. A little bit of a nudge there by McKenzie. It might be a free kick to Croydon here in the ruck. It is. So Timmy Green. It again looks one way, then the other. Big kick up towards the Haag direction. Nicely knocked away from him there by Ramboldi. Hughes lays a pretty impressive tackle on James Monks, and we will have a ball up 50 metres out from the Croydon goal line. It's barely a 50 metre out here, but that's what it's marked as. Croydon tried to surge the ball forward, and that was, I think Dixon got dispossessed to the football, and Doncaster, no, which way is this one to go?
Zach Carroll holding the man.
So off the play there, Carroll.
No, it's not. So Taylor, I think it is.
You just stick to the special comments. The short passes on now, and a good lead and a strong mark by Lachlan Todd, who had eyes only for the football. He came across from the half-forward flank, ran into the hole, and a good mark taken there.
Well, it took a bloke to come inside the forward 50 from a wider area for Croydon to finally take their first mark inside 50, at least I think. But it's taken a while. Doncaster's defence has been holding up pretty well, but only a matter of time.
To put through Croydon's second of the afternoon, and his first, Lachlan Todd. Well,
bad kick.
It skewed straight off the side of the boot and barely made it through for one behind. That's their second on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, trailing by 10 points. Croydon to Doncaster kicking straight today at the 19-minute mark of this first term. They are 3 straight goals.
So Scotland brings the ball back in, went very, very short to Pearson, and Pearson finds Hooper, who's back on the field. Careful use of the footy here by Doncaster, sharing it around. They're able to hit their targets to this stage. Schimmelbusch at half back. He basically kicks to a contest, but it worked out well. Good use of the body then by Monks. Monks' kick out into the path of Muller, and that wasn't the best kick from James Monks. Steve Muller couldn't keep it in play, so a boundary throw in. 10-point lead for Doncaster. 3 goals on the board for them. Matty Sheen's kicked 2 of them. Croydon a 1-2-8. So a boundary throw in. No one really won that one decisively. A lot of players around this footy, and it will be a ball up. Pye throws it up. Sia Cavallis got a little handball, but it was intercepted by Travers. Travers kick up towards the wing. Big McKenzie takes possession. Bit of an untidy handball, but he found Monks. Long searching kick from Monks at the back of the pack. That worked out well. Fiora, little handball around the corner. Off target. The kick there just was by Sheen, who's been a real live wire in this first quarter. He almost kicked his third goal of the term, just off target. Doncaster 3-1-19, Croydon 1-2-8. Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Very handy here, BWS. I've noticed that when a goal is kicked for Doncaster, they put it up on the scoreboard who the goal kicker was. So we certainly won't miss any of the Sharks goals today.
Yes, Hark's kick was looking for Michael Todd. The players are ferociously going after the pill there. A little bit of how do you do between Thatcher and I think Nick Coman. Pye quick to restart play. It's almost cross centre half forward there for the Doncaster side. Heading down the hill of JJ Tully Drive in this first term, the home side, 11-point leaders. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Big fly over the back there by Coman. A lot of players around this football. Head over the football as well. Had Galache, and we'll have another bounce. Of course, streaming live on efl.org.au. Almost a little bit of holding in the ruck. The umpire said it was okay. Thatcher, who's been feisty over the last minute or so, has given away a free kick. So umpire maybe wanted to spread things out a little bit here. Colosimo, he'll have a shot on goal. He looks pretty confident in this one. He might go for the ball off. Batista is asking for it. He's short as well. So little handball away now, and it didn't pay off too. Scotland lost the football, but he had enough time to pick it up. Now on the left boot, he drives it in towards the forward pocket. Good reach there, Michael Batista. He stuck out the mitts and pulled it in very close to the boundary line, about 40 metres out from goal. You alive, Ray Baird?
Yes, no, I'm just watching, mate, just watching.
So Batista to kick Doncaster's fourth goal of the afternoon. He's a good kick normally. Which way is this one going to go? The goal umpire didn't move in the end. He just arched his back and put up the two fingers. That's Batista's first goal, and Doncaster have a handy lead. 25 plays 8 time on here in the first term on EFL Gameday.
There's been nothing pretty about the game so far. Look, both sides, the play's been scrambling, both sides are turning the ball over. There's been missed hand passes and all this. I'm just waiting for one of the sides, Brad, to get a break and some good, clean play on type of football.
Yeah, absolutely, Ray. But I think certainly Michael Batista, the animal, he's one of the guys who they probably needed to start getting into the game. He's been really quiet. I reckon that would just about be his first kick of the game, and he is a match winner. So they can start getting their best players finding the footy. That'll go a long way towards them starting to build a lead.
See Cavallis, little handball out wide. Here's Galache. He loves these ones. Andrea Galache puts it through, and they've got 2 in a minute now. The Doncaster Football Club 5-1-31 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Croydon 1-2-8. Well, sometimes you think sides can bounce back and get the quick answer, but that's Doncaster saying we've got a lead and we're stretching it, Josh.
Yes, certainly. Sorry, I thought Ray was going to jump in there. No, Doncaster have been fantastic so far. They're using the ball a lot better, especially by foot. They're very effective and efficient when going forward, and they're looking very dangerous, a lot more dangerous than Croydon are at the moment. Croydon need to find something because they're being outrun in most areas and assets of the field at the moment.
Some scores coming through thanks to the local burger company.
Yeah, Millbark and East Burwood both 0 points apiece according to time zones there every day.
Isn't that pretty, Brad?
Doncaster East hold a 4-point lead over Waverley.
Back in the middle, Mackenzie won the tap. It's a handy lead now for the Sharks. 23 points late in the first quarter. Quick kick came out of the middle from Carlson. Mark should have been held then by Martin. Had plenty of support though. Hughes throws it on the boot. High kick intended there for Green. Scotland takes a hold of the footy, arches the back and then sweeps out the handball to Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch's high kick showed a lot of it to the opposition. Hooper got a little handball away to Carlson. He got it from Sia Cavallis. There's a free kick for a throw, although I'm not sure that's what the umpire... Oh yeah, he has played the throw. So free kick goes to the Blues. And they just need to steady here, Croydon. This is Travers. Patrick Travers, kick, pull one right over the head of Jared Clark. McGarnis, untidy handball, gives the Blues another chance. McGarnis there really didn't sum up that situation well. This is Carroll taking possession, but there's a free kick, and
I think Marr was caught holding the ball there.
A little bit going on the deck there. I'll be careful not to have the free kick reversed. Jay Pearson. He's got the long sleeves on today. Short pass by Pearson to Fiora. Fiora swings onto that trusty left foot, although on this occasion he was a half volley that found Hooper. Lovely pass to Sia Cavallis. Off a step, Sia Cavallis' kick. Travers, who's done a terrific job across half-back. He's cleared many Doncaster forays forward, and believe me, it's been coming in thick and fast in this first quarter. There's a free kick for some holding on, and Croydon thought about playing the advantage, but better that the umpire makes the ball come back to Nathan Haag, who goes very short to Clark. He's looked imposing this first quarter, Jared Clark, without really managing to get his hands on the footy too often.
That's a letdown.
That was a poor kick by Clark. It was marked there by Pearson, who got it to Scotland, and then Scotland's kick hugging the boundary, fisted over the line by Hughes. Boundary throw in with the lead still 23 points.
It was a poor kick by Clark, but I don't have a problem with that because they've been bombing the ball in. At least he looked for a forward on the lead.
Ball came down at ground level, was scooped upon there by Carroll, who thumped the ball up to centre half forward. Valuable meterage there. Galache tried to use his body to win the football. Running over the football was Thatcher. Linking up well there was Higgins out wide. On the right boot he goes towards the Hughes direction. It's got to sit up nicely for him, and it does. Squeezes a kick back inboard. Travers takes the mark. He's had a lot of the football, as Brad said.
The next kick's where they've been breaking down, BWS. Round that half forward line.
So they elect to go wide. Hughes takes the mark. A short option was on. It had to be a good kick, and it was. Higgins covered some good ground. Former Whitefriars boy on the right boot. Kicks it up towards the Clark direction. Knocked away nicely by Benny McGarnis as the siren sounds to announce a quarter time. 27 and a half minutes the term went for, and it's the home side Doncaster leading by almost 4 goals. 23 points is the margin. 5-1, 31 to Croydon. 1-2. A major goal kicker on the ground is Matthew Sheen with 2 for the Sharks. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live around the globe on EFL.org.au. If you're out and about in the eastern suburbs today watching your local side, please tweet through the scores as much as you can. At Footy EFL is the handle. We'll have a break. We'll go back to Barry Cotts in the Radio Eastern studios and come back hopefully with a lot of those around the ground scores with Josh Dawe right after this.
Jenny's family and friends turned up in their 60s gear. They wore paisley shirts and ties, peace chains and love beads, danced to Janis Joplin, The Who, Creedence. It was like being at Woodstock. It was exactly how Jenny wanted her send-off to be.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, there are no rules. Our motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. So if you'd like to relive the past a little, Tobin Brothers Funerals will help you do it. Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Hey man.
Yeah, man.
Can you smell it?
Smell what?
It's my favourite smell in the world. Footy season.
Yeah, man, like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G.
Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour.
They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've cheered your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate.
Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent.
Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
Radio Eastern 98.1. And Barry Cotts back here in the studio with EFL Gameday, and we'll return for the second quarter of our Division 2 game this afternoon between Doncaster and Croydon out there at Shram Reserve in just a moment. And currently 12 degrees in Melbourne's outer east. Time to check some AFL football this afternoon, and the game being played at the MCGs between Carlton and Port Adelaide. At half-time, it was a close game indeed. It was Port Adelaide 4-3-27 leading Carlton 4-2-26. It's currently the 22-minute mark of the second quarter, and Carlton are in front. Carlton 10-3-63 are leading Port Adelaide 6-5-41. Goal kickers for the Blues at this stage. Everett has 3, 1 each to Armfield and Bell. And their possession leaders, Cripps 15, Kerner 14 and Murphy 8. And for Port Adelaide, Wingard has kicked 2 goals, Bock and Ebert 1 each, Mitchell 12 possessions, Broadbent 11 and Cloquin 11. Now the other game we play this afternoon is up at the Sydney Showgrounds in Sydney, and that's between Greater Western Sydney and North Melbourne. It gets underway at 4:35 p.m. And the next game is between the Western Bulldogs and Brisbane Lions, and we'll keep you up to date with all AFL scores right here on EFL Game Day.
Okay, boys, it's time we give ourselves a big advantage this weekend.
I'm not going to tank, Coach.
No, who said anything about tanking? It's what you'll save in the tank. I want you all to go out and get a breeze tag. Use Eastlink. You'll be at the ground faster and fresher, and you'll save fuel too.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
Love it local and keep your radio dial locked on 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL Gameday kicks off at 1 every Saturday as the EFL Media Team bring you all the EFL Gameday action. Thanks to the Pancake Parlour. On Sunday, tune in from 10 for Crocs Play Centre's EFL Sunday for a complete review of all the senior EFL matches. Wednesday night from 6, tune in to The Huddle with Paul Semasides, Aaron Kirkby-Rodia and Will Taylor for a lighter look at the EFL. Love it local for the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres. From 10 till 2 every Sunday morning, the EFL Media Team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. For comprehensive EFL video coverage, head to efl.org.au and check out our EFL TV portal. Don't miss the agenda every week for all the latest news from right around the Eastern Football League. And you can get involved by voting for your favourite EFL Play of the Week. EFL TV, love it local 24/7 at efl.org.au. EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head local for your footy.
Welcome back out to Shram's Reserve. It's quarter time out here and it's Doncaster leading 5-1-31, Croydon 1-2-8. So a handy first quarter lead to the home side. Grant Campbell saw everything that happened in that first term stats-wise, and we'd like a rundown thanks to Choose Tap, mate.
The hit-outs in the first quarter, 18-11 in favour of Doncaster. The clearances 14-10 their way. They had 7 more kicks, having 49-42. Croydon with 7 more handballs, having 34-27. Doncaster with the 15 inside 50s to 10. Not many marks inside 50, just 2-1 in favour of Doncaster.
Thanks to the local burger company, Josh Dawe working feverishly this afternoon. Some of those around the ground scores.
Yeah, we'll start up the top Division 1. Balwyn leading by 15 points over North Ringwood at quarter time. Blackburn and Montrose 12 apiece. Knox 3-point leaders over Rowville in the game between Vermont
let's cross
and
down
Noble
boundary
Park.
side thanks to LifeCare. We've got the coach.
Yeah, I'm here with the coach of the Doncaster Sharks. After such a great quarter, what's your main focus for the next quarter, maintaining and perhaps extending this lead?
Yeah, we don't want to waste that quarter, so again, similar to the same message at the start of the game was that we want to make sure that we get our hands on it first. Even Stevens quarter is what we want this quarter, so if we can go in that it's even Stevens, we'll be happy.
All right, thank you.
Great stuff there, Lockie Munro. Thanks to LifeCare. Sorry to cut you off there, Josh.
No, you're right.
AT, keep on going, mate.
Yeah, last game in Division 1, Noble Park 2-point leads over Vermont at quarter time. Division 2, Mulgrave lead by 2 points over Bayswater. East Belwood and Moolbach, as I said, a scoreless quarter from both teams. Scoresby trail Wantuna South by 25 points. Doncaster East lead Waverley by 4 points. Not much in Division 3, got the one result. Heathmont up by 21 points over the Whitehorse Pioneers. And in Division 4, Kilsyth 10-point leaders over Coldstream. Surrey Park 5-point leaders over Ferntree Gully in the first quarter. Eastern Lions 5 points also in leading Forest Hill. And Warrandyte 11-point leaders against Glen Waverley. If I get any more, I will let you know.
Fantastic stuff. 23 points is the margin. Start of the second term. Here's Brad Henderson.
Well, Shram's Reserve bathed in sunshine for the start of the second term. Green going up against Jarvis in the ruck. The Blues win the clearance this time. Kick forward by Bolton. Deep into the forward line. Malloy working hard back there. Got it to Rambaldi. Then to Scotland. Dangerous handball by Scotland. And Pearson was forced to rush it through for a minor score. And dodged the bullet then at the Sharks. Let's cross boundary side to Esmond.
The key message at quarter time from Paul Newton as the Croydon coaches: be accountable, man up, don't give them any room, and just don't go into the forward line. Look for our targets.
Well, almost a slips catch taken there by Martin, but at the spills, Doncaster kicked the ball forward. McKenzie's down there at full forward, knocked away nicely by Thatcher, but scooping on it magnificently. Snap around the body. This is a fair old go, isn't it? Jaden Hooper, eat your heart out, a contender for the Pancake Parlour play of the day. There's no doubt about that. A nice curl on that left foot snap and roving it well also. 6 goals on the board now for Doncaster. A very handy lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They are 6 goals, 137. They're kicking straight. Croydon are 139.
Great play by Jaden Hooper then. As a small crumbing forward, front and centre. The ball came to the front of the pack and he snapped the left foot over his shoulder, and it's a goal that Croydon certainly didn't want Doncaster to get onto.
Thanks to the local burger company. A couple more results coming through at quarter time in Division 3. Ringwood 13-point leaders over Sylvan. Templestowe take a 1-goal lead against Ferntree Gully, and Mitcham 22-point leaders. Churnside Park yet to register a score.
So a 26-point lead for Doncaster. They stretch the lead. It's worrying times now for the Blues, that is for sure. 28 points in fact the margin. Carroll knocked it further afield. Travers, who I thought was probably the Blues' best in that first quarter, got it to Bolton. And Bolton's kick has snuck home for it. No, he's just off target. So there was plenty of applause for that kick by Josh Bolton. The Blues fans liked it. The goal umpire just sort of gave the indication that it had missed, and I was deceived by the support from the crowd then, but it might have scored.
And
Josh
Ray Baird
Bolton
as well told me it was a goal.
I said it was a point.
Yeah, on air. We saw your hands go up for a goal. So the kick goes out to centre half back. It was Jarvis in the front spot, knocked away from him. They'll get another go here, linking up Higgins. His handball was half smothered, but eventually got boot to ball. Grubbers up towards the half forward line. And the Sharks have the numbers at the back. The kick goes up towards the wing position, looking for... Andrew Hughes chopped it off in the end, and he might just kick a goal. The veteran kicks it to the top of the square, but Doncaster still have the numbers as Pearson on the right boot. Back forward pocket out here at Shram's Reserve. It's a 27-point lead to the home side at the moment. Benny McGarnis across half back, wants to square the football up. It's an okay option. Carroll takes it, gives the handball off now. Doncaster in bits and pieces up towards the wing position. Mark's been taken by Ramboldi.
Sia Cavallis.
That's why I need you sitting next to me, Brad.
Sorry about that.
Sun's out in force today, making things a little bit difficult, but we'll get through it. Fiora, swing around on that trusty left foot of his. Usually likes to get a fair bit of purchase on it as well this time. Short passes on. Raymond, who kicked a goal in the first term, has it on true centre wing position here, so there's no real urgency at the moment. It's a little bit of a lull. Sia Cavallis over the back, couldn't quite pull it down. Batista came charging in for the football. Good tackle there by Jimmy Grant to see the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds.
It's interesting to see the different styles of play kicking up here towards the top end of the ground, because Doncaster were prepared to hold on to the ball and just chip it around where Croydon were bombing it in.
McKenzie took it out of the ruck and the players were screaming for it then, but it comes out to Hoopo. Link it up well, backwards to go forwards on the right boot. Martin was a grubber of a kick, but it might end up okay here for Croydon. The quick handball there by Clark didn't hit the target, so both sides making a few mistakes in the middle of the ground, and that's exactly where we'll restart it. 6-1-37 plays 1-4-10 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 27-point lead at the 5-minute mark of the second term for Doncaster. Nice knockdown that time. Raymond couldn't quite trap the football, but he laid a solid tackle on Paddy Travers, and he's going nowhere. Travers having a great first term. And the orange wheels, no doubt he got them from Concave. Fantastic sponsor. As the kick goes up towards the half-forward line, the fly there will be Monks. He got a fist on it. In the front spot there was Haag. He had a little bit of support coming through. Fiora just got the handball away. They just need to get boot to ball. Somehow Doncaster over the top there of Steve Muller's head, and he had about 10 metres space in front of him, but the kick bounces over for a boundary throw-in. So it's at the club room's ends of Shram's Reserve. It's Doncaster's end. You'll hear them get rowdy on the hill if they can pull something down here. Green
got the knockdown, scooped upon there by Martin, who just wanted to get the ball out of that danger zone, and it was a big kick. Eyes only for the football. There was Jarvis, who'll get it to a Matty Schimmelbusch, who will kick it to the hot spot, no doubt. Mackenzie, the biggest man in the pack, stands strong, and his jukes were just too tall for everybody else, and he takes a pretty easy mark for him in the end, and he'll have a shot for goal about 30 metres out directly in front.
Great play by Aaron Fiora then, right underneath the scoreboard, left foot running around the boundary. He didn't go for goal, he could have, but he saw the big man Mackenzie and just put it straight to him.
Speaking of another big man, it all started with a great mark by Greg Humphrey Jarvis on the wing position, but Mackenzie,
you'll kick this.
The big ruckman comes in now. He should kick it, and he makes no mistake. Doncaster have 7 goals on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 7-1-43. Croydon are 1-4-10, and this is getting out to a dangerous margin now.
It certainly is, BWS, and they've got to pull it back right now, Croydon. They've got to kick the next one, if not 2 goals, because it was just the dominance of Doncaster. They chip the ball around the half-back line, they chip it up to the wing, whereas in the first quarter, Croydon coming up this end were prepared to bomb the ball in.
Yeah, they look lethargic, and Doncaster are just making a mess of them at the moment, using a lot better skills and movement of the ball.
Back in the middle once again, 33 points to lead now for Doncaster. It's a worrying times for the Blues, that's for sure. Sia Cavallis, his handball's a bit too hot then for Schimmelbusch. Todd took possession, and that was Lockie Todd initially, and then Michael Todd grabbing hold of the footy, and he was all wrapped up.
Any more scores coming through thanks to the local burger company? Norwood lead East Ringwood by 6 points at quarter time. Lilydale also up by 13 points over South Croydon at 3/4 time.
Dixon's kick bounces out of bounds in the forward pocket. So we'll have a boundary thrown, but it's not a bad spot for the Blues. Always a bit dangerous when it's right next to the behind post. We'll go to Soupy in a moment with some stats that matter. Umpire throws it in. Mackenzie got the little handball to McGarnis. Out to Scotland. Heath Scotland's kick into open space. Monks tracks it down over the boundary line. It will be a throw-in. It's Doncaster leading by 33 points with thanks to Choose Tap, Grant Campbell.
Well, surprisingly, given the scoreboard this quarter, Croydon leading the clearances 7-2, inside 50s at 4 apiece.
Mackenzie there against Van Forestine. And the umpire right on the scene to ball it up. Throws it up now. Van Forestine won the tap. Schimmelbusch had his kick partly smothered. Who can take possession here? It was Higgins who tried to, but he went to ground at the crucial moment. This is Batista. Michael Batista, the left footer, looks for Fiora and finds him on a long lead. Probably should have taken the mark. So the kick really couldn't have been any better for him than it was then. Fiora, he's claiming that he was interfered with, and perhaps he was there by Bentley. Umpire decided against paying a free kick. Little handball was shot out then by Bentley. And once more it'll be a ball up. So this Croydon defence under siege in this second term. We've gone nearly 9 minutes in the second quarter, and a lot of that time has been spent in the Doncaster forward half of the ground.
It's a jazz festival downstairs.
Close to the boundary line. High kick, and Galache takes possession, but it will have to come back. The ball was over the boundary line, so it will be a boundary throw-in. Wing position here at Shreem's Reserve as Doncaster lead 7-1-43 to Croydon 1-4-10 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, they need to peg something back here, do the Blues. Van Florenstein had the back spot. Frankie got the knockdown and tried to pick it up there. Was Haag. Little handball away was okay, but going nowhere. Dixon, and the umpire will come in and bounce. A good tackle there by Mitch Raymond. So, in fact, it was Zachy Higgins on the bounce. Mackenzie got that down. Todd trying to break the tackle, has to give the ball back to the umpire. That was Lachlan Todd. Just outside the centre square here at Shreem's Reserve. True centre wing position. Bolton did well on the left boot. The kick was half smothered. That almost might have been in the back, I would have thought there. But the umpire said it was A-OK with Kadlachik doing enough to bring his opponent down. So crept inside the centre square here. 33 points the margin. The Blues, they need a break. Even if it's a lucky one, they'll take it. Bolton and C. Cavallis try to rip the football from one another, and we'll have another stoppage.
Doncaster would not be one bit worried about all these stoppages and all the players around the contest playing right into their hands.
Certainly got the answer, Van Florenstein. That time got the knockdown. Little toe poke there by Batista into the middle of the ground. It was picked up by Todd of the Lockie variety, kicked it up towards centre half forward, but to no avail, and now the Sharks get their chance to rebound. Monks was on the lead, and he'll receive the handball nicely over the top there from Scotland, who took it on the right boot. It's Monks kicks towards the Muller direction. Fiora came flying over the back. He couldn't quite pull it down. Keeping a cool head there was Trent Martin, who just thumps it out of that danger zone in towards the middle of the ground, looking for Andrew Hughes. He got a hand on it, so too did Clark, but Ben McGarnis wraps him quickly up, and we'll have a bounce this time on the interchange side of the ground, just inside the centre square. McKenzie knocked straight down. Clark going nowhere, and once again another stoppage. Graham Campbell, anything that matters at the moment, thanks to Choose Tab?
Nothing particularly interesting. Croydon leading the contested ball 17-14.
Bolton handball over the top there to Hughes, one way then the other. It's a neat looking kick up towards centre half forward. It was a very good kick too. Out in front that time there was Haag. The long locks, he's covering a fair bit of ground this afternoon. It's Jamie Haag, and he might just back himself in here. I think his teammates have told him to have a ping, so Haag yet to trouble the scorers this afternoon. Just pops it up in the end. A nice little knock on there by Malloy, and he released a teammate out there. Umpires come in and paid a free kick to Croydon, I think, off the ball to Ficcarelli. Yeah, and that's exactly the way that it's gone. So, well, is this the little bit of luck that they were after? Justin Fitzroy, Brad calls him, and I'm going to go with Brad because he's proven us wrong so many times.
The free kick was against Colosimo.
So, if ever they needed a goal,
well, he has to kick this, BW.
Well, he's a no-goal kicker.
Yep.
He's a super player. An experienced head you want to have with the football at the moment. Ficcarelli comes in, thumps it towards the goals. It's drifting and drifting, so some behinds are letting them down this afternoon. 1-5-11 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Still a 32-point margin to Doncaster at the 12-minute mark of the second term.
Well, gee, they needed that one, the Blues. They desperately need to put some scoreboard pressure on. Scotland brings the ball back in. It's nicely marked by Clark.
He's having a good game.
He certainly is. Jared Clark's kick got it to Van Florenstein, who shot out the handball to Dixon. Just the fumble at the crucial moment was costly then. Carroll all wrapped up then by a couple of Blues, including Ficcarelli and also Haag there.
Tried to be too quick then, Van Florenstein.
Hooper sharked the pack beautifully, got it to Colosimo. Hughes takes possession. Dixon had his handball blocked. Players dive in over the footy, and once more it will be a ball up. Haven't seen Hayden Lovett getting any of the footy. He's a really good user of the ball, and he just hasn't been able to get into the play at all so far today. He's one player amongst many who, for the Blues, who really need to lift. A lot of players over this footy. Schimmelbusch involved once again.
And more scores thanks to the local burger company.
Just coming through, yes, Park Orchards and South Belgrave in a bit of a shootout. 13-point leaders Park Orchards at the moment.
Kick put out on the full there from the boot of Lockie Todd. So the free kick goes to Doncaster in the back pocket. Brad Callagher there really guarding the mark. He hasn't really had a sniff of the action so far to this stage, Brad Callagher. A kick into open space. Bolton was in position A, but the ball just didn't quite sit for him. Dixon shot out a handball to Marr. They need a goal here. Kyle Marr fires at the goals, and the ex-Falcon puts it through for Croydon's second. 2-5-17, Doncaster 7-1-43. Bendigo Bank scoreboard. To say that was a much-needed goal would be a vast understatement.
Yeah, it certainly was, Brad. There was nothing pretty about it. It's taken about 15 minutes to get that goal. But look, all is not lost. If they can get a couple more before half-time and try and get back into the contest.
Yeah, last couple of minutes they were positive. Had to get a goal because they had dominated the ball just on the top of the 50 and it really worked hard. It'd be a shame if they didn't get one. So they're back in it now. They've just got to keep it up.
Can they get a couple in a row? That's the big challenge here. Handball over the top there by Carroll. Tried to find Mackenzie. charging him through and trying to get boot to ball was Andrew Colosimo, and he got dispossessed, and the umpire said it was enough advantage in that to call play on. Handball over the top, there might be a little bit of holding there. Callagher switched across Clark, his kick went up and under about 30 metres high and 20 metres wide, knocked away now towards the wing position. Will this ball set up? It does in the favour of Doncaster up towards the half forward line, or Batista took the mark. It's more centre wing than the half forward line, but this kick will certainly, well, I thought it would go in the middle of the ground, and now it does. They might actually have the switch on here, Doncaster. And here is Carroll on the right boot, squeezes a kick. It's a beautiful one too, leading out. He had the turn of speed. It was Aaron Fiora, and he takes it on his chest. He hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon, but he'll be looking to put through Doncaster's 8th and the answer that they were after. Great response from Doncaster, straight out of the middle again, and they just seem to have so much space when they're using the ball, and it's a dangerous sign for Croydon. They're going to have to shut them down a bit better. We've done this thousands of times at training, and he should put it through, and he might have just snuck this one home. I think it's going to be paid a goal, and it is to the Doncaster Football Club. Aaron Fiora has 1, and Doncaster have 8. 8-1-49 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and Croydon 2-5-17.
7 individual goal kickers for Doncaster, which is a great spread without the big man Nathan Thompson there.
He's a beautiful user of the ball, Zach Carroll, isn't he? That was a lovely pass, just basically told Fiora where to lead to, and Fiora ran onto it. And he's been threatening to take a mark, Fiora. That was an easy one, of course, but more importantly, he did follow up and slotted it home for Doncaster's 8th goal as Higgins takes possession for the Blues. This is Lockie Todd. Off a step, finds Bolton. Bolton goes by hand to Travers. Travers keeps the kick very low. Didn't really favour his teammate that time. Callagher, quick kick around the corner. It bounces towards the goals. And Pearson there got an important hand in, forced it to the boundary line for a throw-in. 32-point lead to Doncaster. Boundary throw-in in the forward pocket for the Blues. Can they get that quick reply? Because Kyle Maher kicked that goal a couple of minutes ago, and then Doncaster immediately got their quick reply through Fiora. The Blues need to bounce back here with a quick one. This is Galache. By hand to Coleman at half-back for the Sharks. Bit indecisive, Nick Coleman. Sold himself out into under pressure. Kick by Todd to the top of the square. It's fisted over for a minor score. So Croydon threatening at the moment. All of a sudden, 2 goals, 6-18. Doncaster 8-1-49.
Good pressure by the Croydon forwards then to get that ball back into that goal square.
So it'll be Pearson screaming for some support. Likes to go to the far side of Schramm's reserve, and it's a big kick out towards Jarvis, who stood strong, got knocked away from him. He kept the ball alive. That was pretty clever. Higgins is in there trying to release the footy, and over she goes for a boundary throw-in. 60 metres out from the Croydon goal line.
We look at the difference in the score, boys, but there's only one more scoring shot to the Doncaster side.
Yeah, they're certainly making them pay. They certainly are being by the side so far today as well, Ray, as the kick
they've
goes
controlled
out.
the game so far.
Wilkins snaps it around the body now inside the forward 50, but to no avail, Matty Schimmelbusch. Ball's released now to the half-back line. Galache's made to work hard for it. Nicely done there by Todd to knock it over towards Lovett direction, who's been asked to step up by Brad Henderson, and over the boundary line it goes for a boundary throw-in, 40 metres out from goal.
Clearance is 15-5 in favour of Croydon this quarter, thanks to Choose-Tap.
Doing it all on his lonesome, Grant Soupy Campbell. Pye throws it in.
Well, when we saw these two sides play last year in the radio game, Hayden Lovett's use of the footy was without peer, and we know what he's capable of. I just want to see it here today.
Flying kick goes up towards the forward pocket. Not a favourable bounce there for Hard. Callagher laid a tackle and might have been a little bit too crude in the end. The umpire said it was play on in the end. Raymond, no. Bring the ball back. So Ramboldi goes to Pearson. He's got Malloy at half back if he wants to use him. It's a dangerous kick though. Malloy still by himself, might be the recipient this time. His arms almost got chopped. The umpire said it was okay. Picked up there by Mara. Scrambly kick forward. It goes Ficcarelli. It needed to bounce well for him. In fact, this was Taylor. Can he put one through for the Blues? That's an important kick, and that's a goal that they were after. Also, 3 on the board now, and maybe they're starting a little bit of a charge. They've had a good 5 minutes or so, the Croydon Football Club, and they're inching closer on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's 25 points the margin. Josh Dawe, thanks to the local burger company around the grounds.
Yeah, most teams around the Eastern Football League past the quarter time mark, so we'll go through some of the scores we've got in front of us. Balwyn leading by 19 points over North Ringwood. Norwood a 6-point lead over East Ringwood. Knox and Roval have been a bit back and forth. Currently Knox leading by 3 points. Lilydale leading by 13. And Blackburn and Montrose. Game was tied at quarter time. Montrose have pushed out to a bit of a lead. And the big game against Vermont and Noble Park. Noble Park have kicked the last couple of goals and now take a 21-point lead.
And the lead here is 25 points for Doncaster. Croydon kicking their third goal through Jake Taylor. They've got the ball now after a free kick. Wilkins goes very short. Careful kick finds Marr. Hits Scotland there, still arguing the case with the umpire. Marr's kick, a good one to Haag on a long lead. Safely holds the mark, Nathan Haag, and then goes short to Travers. So Patrick Travers.
Is that a quieter term?
Too far out to score. Loves a goal, but he won't get one on this occasion. Thumping kick though, gives it all he's got to fall forward. Plenty of Sharks back there to defend. The handball was shot out to Ficarelli, and I think he snuck it home for his first of the day. Goal umpire has a sense of theatre, but he does pay the goal. Justin Ficarelli has his first, and he's one of those players who sometimes, if he doesn't get a goal early, he can really struggle. He likes to get one early. He's kicked his first now of the day. Croydon have 4 on the board. 4 goals, 6:30. Doncaster 7-7. 49 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and for the first time today, Croydon have 2 goals in a row.
Thanks to the local burger company around the grounds in Division 2. Bayswater leading Mulgrave by 5 points. East Build and Moorabak, as we said, scoreless, but Moorabak have kicked the last couple of goals. Keep going, mate.
Running it out through the middle there is Bolton. Can he make it 2 in a matter of moments? No, he cannot. Ramboldi takes the mark at the last line of defence and releases the football out wide. That was a good kick. Jaden Hooper, who's leading the contender of the Pancake Parlour play of the day. $25 voucher. Might go back to some more of those scores, Josh.
Half-time at Moorabak, and Moorabak trailing East Burwood by 14 points. Half-time also at Doncaster East. Doncaster East taking a 13-point lead.
Coleman took the mark and got a little bit of a push as well. They're lucky they didn't get paid a 25-metre penalty there, Croydon. Batista screaming for some teammate support to link out wide. The kick goes inside forward, 50 or thereabouts. Flying over the back there was Monks, but the umpire said, perhaps
a card in the middle here. Bit of a fight.
Geordie Buckingham, senior officiating umpire out there.
Just the card came out. I'm not sure if it was for a Doncaster or a Croydon player.
I'm just waiting for things to separate. A couple of players using the opportunity to do their change. 49 plays 30. It's a 19 points the margin. The best thing you can do is to restart the game. We'll follow that one, Dennis, as the kick goes out towards the Martin direction. Chopped off in the middle of the ground. Here's Galache. One way then the other. Lost his footing. The little handball across the half-forward line. It was picked up there by Coleman. On the right boot he goes towards the Monks direction. Flying over the back and... Oh. Who's pulled that one? It is a Doncaster mark.
Yeah, Monks, yeah.
It was Monks who pulled it down in the end. The red card, or was it only a yellow card in the end? I think it might be yellow. It's Heat Scotland going off, so great fly there by Monks. Thought he got a little bit too under it there in the end, but he'll go back and have a shot on goal. So just when Croydon have got a little bit of a run on, 19 points they lead by in this second term. We've crossed the 24-minute mark. Doncaster just taking their time there.
Boundary?
We are aware it's a Heath Scotland card. We'll leave it at that. Thanks, Lockie.
Sorry.
So, not looking too confident, is he, Monks, at the moment? Looking around here and there. Maybe he's going to give a handball off to Carroll, who was just lurking in the background.
Looks like Scotland. It looks like Scotland might have been reported because Jordan Buckingham's gone and talking to the Croydon players now.
So I'm not sure why the game hasn't restarted, but perhaps it's because all
the other umpire's got
umpire needs to be on the ground, which he is, but he's blown time off. So, Monks. He'll come in now. 40 metres out from goal. Starts at left, brings it back. It'll cross the face in the end. That was certainly what you'd call a helicopter punt style, and might have actually hit the behind post as well offhand. So we'll have a boundary throw in. So Doncaster, they'll get another chance here to put one through the big sticks. Green knocked it down. Hughes was in there. So too Fioro's kick was smothered. He tried to use the right boot. He had what golfers would call a fresh air shot, and over the boundary line it goes.
Division 3, thanks to local bird company. Mitcham taking a 30-point lead over Churnside Park. Heathmont 10 points over Whitehorse. Templestowe pushed out their lead to 18 points, and South Belgrade have kicked the last 10 goals to push that to a 23-point lead against Park Orchards.
And going in at the bottom of the pack there is
a little bit of feeling it could come into the game now, BWS.
It certainly has. 19 points is the margin. Green got a good knock on that one, going in hard, putting his body on the line. I think that time was Carlson. The umpire said, no, you have done that on purpose and not in the spirit of the game. A second card being given here now. So Matty Carlson, the number 63 Guernsey. So it's going to make things. It makes things interesting using the bench wise, doesn't it? For the next quarter at Doncaster.
Yeah, well, they got 2 players short now. That's right.
Bentley has
a little bit of undisciplined play though. They've got to get back on track because they were controlling the game up until the last 10 minutes or so.
49 plays 30 and a 25-metre penalty as well. So Bentley will come up to centre half back here, and he might just even take off as well. The umpire says, no, get back. Short passes on, drives it out to the wing position, straight through the hands there of Dixon. Couldn't keep the football alive. Over she goes for a boundary throw in.
In Division 4, some of the scores coming through thanks to local bird company. Kilsyth 10 points over Coldstream. Surrey Park 5 points over Fenchurch Gully. Eastern Lions 5 over Forest Hill. Warrandyte by 11 over Glen Waverley, and Nunawading lead by 36 points over Donvale.
See Cavallis looking for the Galache direction on the second bite. The umpire said that was okay. I thought he might have taken that over the mark. He drives the ball forward. Fiora had strong hands in the contest, and he had a good reach about him also. So he'll go back, have a shot on goal. He's already kicked one in this term. Distance will not be a problem, and to stretch that lead back to the comfortable 25-point lead, which Doncaster have held for, well, a fair old chunk of this game thus far. Fiora, 45-degree angle. That is a beautiful kick off the boot. Listen to the crowd cheer that one home. Straight over the goal umpire's head. It goes for his second goal, and that is Doncaster's 9th on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 9-1-55, plays 4, 6, 30, 28 minutes gone, second term.
Yeah, look, undisciplined play there by Doncaster, but at least they've got the goal out of it. Now, what Croydon have to do now is back to playing football, because up until that bit of a skirmish there, they were controlling the last 10 minutes or so.
Croydon are winning the clearances 21-5 this quarter, yet both sides, well, Croydon kicked 3 goals and Doncaster kicked 4 this quarter.
25-point lead to Doncaster. They steady through that goal by Aaron Fiora, the second of the day. I think for a whole range of reasons, Ray, the halftime siren will probably be come at a good time here for the Sharks. I know they got that last goal, but Croydon have been coming pretty hard at them. Doncaster losing their composure a little bit, and yeah, probably not a bad time to have a breather, as Pearson's handball wasn't his best. It was intercepted by Dixon, who got it to Travers. His handball was a bit underground that time, didn't favour his teammate. Schimmelbusch takes possession. He's well wrapped up there by Haag. Good strong tackle. And Matty Schimmelbusch again doing a terrific job in defence, as he so often does today. Ever reliable. As Sia Cavallis goes for the handball to Carroll. Carroll's high kick pretty much almost always finds a teammate by foot. Zach Carroll, this is no exception. Got it to Batista.
He's never confident in kicking it, Batista.
No, I don't think he knows how good a player he can be. Batista's kick there to half forward. It's knocked towards the boundary line as the siren sounds to complete. A pretty interesting first half. Doncaster dominated for about a quarter and a half, and then Croydon came pretty hard in that latter part of the second term to make it a 25-point lead, 25-point deficit at half-time. But it's Doncaster 9-1-55, Croydon a 4-goal 6-30 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Aaron Fiora has 2 goals, as too does Matthew Sheen. All single goal kickers for the Croydon side. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio East and is streaming live around the globe on EFL.org.au. If you're out and about around the East, send through those scores via Twitter at FootyEFL, and we'll be sure to let all their fans out there far and wide to know how their team is doing. Time to go back to Barry Cotts in the Radio Eastern studios, and we'll be back after this break to talk about the first half, and we'll also head out to Az Kirkby Rodia, who's watching a big game at Vermont today.
The inside of a cake can have many layers. On the outside, it's hidden behind a coat of icing. But when you cut out a slice, all is exposed. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, nothing is hidden. Our website and Memory Maker app make it clear for families to make informed decisions about planning a funeral for a loved one. That's an example of how Tobin Brothers Funerals is taking transparency to new levels. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Hey man, yeah, it's crunch time. Is it? Free speak? Nah man, it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour with the salted caramel crunch.
Yeah, house-made warm salted caramel sauce and roasted almonds on 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah man, it's crunch time at the G and then it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour.
So this is footy speak then?
I'm just saying man, the salted caramel crunch would be great to have after a day at the footy.
Pancake Parlour open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
Radio Eastern 98.1 is 17 after 3. Barry Cott's back here in the studio, and we'll return in just a moment for the Pie Shed halftime show out there at Shram's Reserve in Doncaster. About Division 2 game this afternoon between Doncaster and Croydon. It's currently a rather chilly 11 degrees in Melbourne's outer east, and our forecast for tomorrow Sunday, expecting some early morning frost, then a sunny day, an overnight one, a very chilly one, and a top tomorrow of 13. For Monday, expecting cloud increasing at 13. Late shower for Tuesday and 15, and 15 for Wednesday with a clearing shower. Now let's take a look at some AFL football action this afternoon, and of course the game between Carlton and Port Adelaide at the MCG, and it's turned out to be a very interesting game indeed. Half time, it was Carlton 10-3-63 leading Port Adelaide 9-5-59. So Carlton had a 4-point lead at half time. Now it's currently at the 3-minute mark of the third quarter, and it's Carlton 11-3-69 leading Port Adelaide 9-5-59. So going into the third quarter, it's Carlton by 10 points. Goal kickers for the Blues so far: Everett has 3, 2 to Henderson, 1 to Armfield. Their possession getters: Carazzo 19, Cripps 17, and Curnow 15. And for Port Power, Wingard has kicked 3, Gray 2, and Bock 1. Possessions: Hartlett 17, Wines also 17, and Gray 15. Now the twilight game to get underway this afternoon is up in Sydney at the Sydney Showground, and that's between Greater Western Sydney and North Melbourne, getting underway at 4:35. And tonight's game is at Etihad Stadium Docklands at 7:20pm, and that's the Western Bulldogs versus the Brisbane Lions. We're going to go back in just a moment to Doncaster Shram's Reserve for the Pie Shed halftime show. This is EFL Gameday.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week, and I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
EFL mobile web app. Own a smartphone and love the EFL? Then the EFL mobile web app is a must for you. Go to ed.efl.org.au to access fixtures, results and ladders for all EFL grades. You can also receive live around the ground scores every Saturday afternoon from the palm of your hand and contribute to the My EFL forum while you're online. Download the EFL mobile web app to go live and local for your footy, right from the palm of your hand. EFL.org.au is a must visit for the die-hard Eastern Football League fan. In our news section, check out the latest news, feature articles and video programs, including the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos. Best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to efl.org.au. Love it local and keep your radio dial locked on 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL Gameday kicks off at 1 every Saturday as the EFL Media Team bring you all the EFL Gameday action, thanks to the Pancake Parlour. On Sunday, tune in from 10 for Crocs Play Centre's EFL Sunday for a complete review of all the senior EFL matches. Wednesday night from 6, tune in to The Huddle with Paul Semasides, Aaron Kirkby-Rodia and Will Taylor for a lighter look at the EFL. Love it local this season on 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, welcome back out to Shram's Reserve where the Doncaster Football Club take on Croydon today in the Division 2 match of the day. It's first versus second and 7 are holding sway at half-time with a 25-point lead. So the home fans are happy. They're up here in the rooms refreshing themselves for what is no doubt going to be an exciting second half. It was a bit fiery towards the end of that second term, wasn't it, Robert?
Yes, a few heated players out there, a couple of yellow cards, but look, it was a good comeback in the second half of the quarter by Croydon. Because Doncaster kicked the first couple of goals to the quarter, went out to a huge lead, but and at the end Doncaster got it back a couple. But look, Croydon kicked 3 goals, 4 for the quarter, and Doncaster, they've kicked 9-1 for today, but they kicked 4 straight, good kicking.
A man who sees it through a different sets of eyes and is a ghost apparently on the huddle on Wednesday night because he's not in the intro. Grant Soupy Campbell, thanks to Tuesday.
To be fair, I've only been on every show this year. The clearances in the second quarter, 22-6 in favour of Croydon. Extraordinarily, they won the centre clearances 8-0, yet lost the quarter. They won the contested ball 39-27. Doncaster, though, had 2 more disposals and won the uncontested possessions 38-24. Croydon with 15 inside 50s to 10. Marks inside 50 is going to be a key stat because Croydon's only taken 2 in the first half. They are to get back into this game. They really need to find some targets and have some set shots because scores from set shots in that first half, 5 goals straight from Doncaster, 2 behinds from Croydon.
Soupy, just getting back to that introduction on the huddle. On game day you do the true stats that matter. On the huddle you do the stats that don't matter, mate.
Well, it's time to go around the grounds thanks to the local burger company. We've got a man out at Vermont this afternoon. Aaron Kirkby-Rodia, what's happening in the big clash out there against Noble Park?
SCA, DWS and team, it's been an interesting game out here. Most people going to this one thought that he would be on top, but at half-time they trail a scoreless Vermont in the second term, 2-2-14, trail Noble Park 7-7-49.
So a very big second term there by the Bulls. Who's standing up for them today? I noticed that Kyle Martin went off with a yellow card early in the first term.
Yeah, it was really pushing, shoving around, and one player actually went over the fence, funnily enough, but Kyle Martin was off with a yellow. Oh no, well it was a bit of a strange sort of, it literally picked up and put over the fence. It wasn't as if someone was clotheslined, but it was all happening at both ends of the ground, and Kyle Martin was off with the yellow card and Mitch Davis was off a couple of minutes later with the yellow, but look, standing up for the Bulls, Martin didn't do much in that first term, but he came to the fore in that second term. Dawe playing across half-back has been terrific for Noble Park this afternoon, taking defensive marks, intercept marks, as has Stewie Kemperman. But it's big Virgin Plate in the forward line for Noble Park is proving to be the biggest headache for Vermont half-time.
And what style of play, Aaron, is Noble Park producing today?
Well, it's very interesting. That first quarter, Ray, was a real battle of contested footy, and Burlington was in his own there, and Shane Valenti and those sort of players were on top. And then in that second term, they just they locked the ball inside that forward 50, and they kicked it into their big men. And Kyle Martin and Biggie Orland as well, raising a couple of goals, but Vermont haven't looked like getting past their half-forward line that whole second term. It's something you're going to have to fix going into the second half, and without Matt Wilcox, who's out of the hospital with a badly broken nose.
Oh, okay. Was that from just a physical clash, body on body?
Yeah, it is. Look, it is a pretty contested style of game. I mean, Vermont are making it look probably a lot worse than it actually is. Noble Park are running on top of the ground for mine, and the Vermont skill level is pretty poor at the moment, but they just need to find some sort of lead up forward. Whether it's Cam Purdy has to take over that role, or even Mitch Davis push up the ground, because at the moment they are not hitting targets, and Joel Perry is just holding the damn wall up at the moment.
Big crowd out there, Az?
Massive crowd here this afternoon. There's people everywhere. It's great to see, you know. Bernie's dragged a lot of people down. He had a nice warm round of applause every time he comes off.
Run through a big banner, the old Bernie?
No, surprisingly, there was no banner down here, but no, there's plenty of people here to watch him, and it's been great. There's been mutual respect from both teams. Every time he's run off the ground, he's had a clap, and when he ran on the ground, a nice big clap, and it's been great to see both these clubs, you know, support a legend of the EFL.
You spoke about Cole Martin getting a yellow card. Did he start at full forward, or have they been playing him in the midfield?
He did. He started at full forward on Corey Cassidy, and look, Corey had his number for the first probably first 10 minutes before he got yellow carded. So yeah, he's been in the midfield pretty much most of that second term, though. He hasn't gone forward much at all.
And what does Vermont have to do, mate, to get back into it?
They've got to get the ball past their half-forward line, Ray, and they've got to improve their skill level. I mean, some of their better players are getting their hands on the ball, and Parker probably hasn't been at his best, but he's still getting plenty of the ball. They just need to hit targets going forward, Ray, otherwise it's going to be a long day out here at Ray.
You're going to call it for us, Az?
I'm going to call it.
Who's going to win?
Look, I picked Vermont during the week. I'm going to try and stick with that in the second half, but it's not looking likely to WS.
Yeah, well, keep us up to date via Twitter for the rest of the game, mate, and we look forward to seeing those scores come through, and let's hope that it can get a little bit closer out there for you for the big second versus third clash. We'll talk to you after the game here today.
Thanks, Peter. Let's hope we get a bit warmer in the second half.
Oh, it's very nice and warm up here in the Doncaster club rooms. Josh Dawe, also thanks to the local burger company, on the Pie Shed half-time show. Some of those important around the ground scores.
Yeah, lots of half-time scores flooding through on Twitter, so keep them coming. Baldwin take a 32-point lead over Northern Ringwood. Blackburn only scored 2 points that quarter. Montrose 4-11, so they hold a 21-point lead. Norwood lead East Ringwood by 18 points. Knox and Roeville 35 apiece at half-time, so a tight game there at Knox. Lilydale hold a 12-point lead over South Croydon, so getting a bit of an advantage here. As Aaron just said, Noble Park a 35-point lead over the Eagles. Division 2, Mulgrave 6-point leaders over an inaccurate Bayswater. East Burwood lead Mooroolbark by 14 points. Wanturna South 63-point leaders over Scoresby. Doncaster East take a 13-point lead into half-time against the Waverley Blues. In Division 3, Mitcham lead Churnside Park by 30 points. South Belgrave led by as much as 23 points in the last report from Peter Baird. Ringwood 20-point leaders over Sylvan. The Basin hold a 23-point lead over Baronia at half-time. Templestowe kicked the last couple of goals to push out to a 23-point lead during the second quarter against Upper Gully, and the other game Heathmont by 10 points over Heathmont. And then in Division 4, the results we've got coming through, Nunawading last week got 36 points over Donvale, and all the other results are the same. Kilsyth by 10 over Coltrane, that was quarter time, as are the rest of the results. We had a result for Eastern Lions. Yeah, sorry, Forest Hill 4-point leaders over Eastern Lions. Some inaccurate kicking for the Zebras. So just about a wrap, and if there's any more, I will let you know.
Doing a great job this afternoon. Special comments / around the grounds, Josh Dawe. We're going to cross back to Barry Cotts in the Radio Eastern studios because Croydon are out on the ground. We're still waiting for Doncaster as the umpires make way to the middle. We'll be back here on EFL Gameday in just a moment.
It's difficult to see through a dirty window, but once you clean it, you can clearly see the view. Tobin Brothers Funerals is just like a clean window. Its easy-to-use website and Memory Maker app are so transparent, you don't need to clear the cobwebs to find the information you need. It's all there for you to see and make an informed decision when planning a loved one's funeral. Download Tobin Brothers Memory Maker app today. It's free from iTunes and Google Play. To find out more, tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Hey man,
Just as you were throwing Barry.
It's my favourite smell in the world. Footy season.
Yeah man, like
You can smell the grass at the mighty G.
Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour.
They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've chewed your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate.
Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent.
Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East. Lovely.
Program sponsor. What was wrong with you blokes yesterday? You were playing like you'd been stuck in traffic for an hour before getting to the game.
Coach, there was a railway crossing gate down for ages.
The other mob crashed us. You ran out of legs.
They all have breeze tags, Coach. They use EastLink. They get to focus on the match rather than focus on inching forward in the traffic.
Get a breeze tag and use EastLink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. EastLink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday. The club plays in every Sunday morning, and the EFL Media Team bring you all the final.
Should have gone and got something.
Kickers, best players, and headers, holding a big round of EFL footy. We're going to talk to winning coaches, players, and special guests to bring you the final scores for all the seniors, reserves, and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local to your footy from 10 every Sunday morning, 98.1 Radio East. For comprehensive EFL video coverage, head to
Nearly starting, Baz.
EFL.au and check out our EFL TV portal. Don't miss the agenda every week for all the latest news from right around the Eastern Football League. And you can get involved by voting for your favourite EFL Player of the Week. EFL TV, love it local 24/7 at EFL.org.au. EFL mobile web app.
Well, they're about to start, Baz.
Love the EFL? The EFL mobile web app is must for you. Go to ink.efl.org.au. There's fixtures, results and ladders for all EFL games. You can also receive live
Game started, Baz.
every Saturday afternoon from the palm of your hand and contribute to the Mighty EFL forum online. Download the EFL mobile web app to go live and local in your footy.
Call it for the stream, Brad.
Okay, so the ball up towards half forward now. It's Raymond who takes possession for Doncaster. Raymond's kick up towards the middle of the ground. The handball was shot out to Dixon. Neat kick to Marr.
Second term just started out here. Third term, I should say.
Marr's kick to Ficarelli. Gathers it in now. Backpedals with the handball. Malloy's good tackle. Dispossessed his opponent then, and Pearson takes the ball to the boundary line. Boundary throw-in just around from the Doncaster interchange area. So this is the third quarter out here at Shreem's Reserve in this top of the table clash between Doncaster and Croydon. Dixon's kick to the top of the square. Haag couldn't take the mark. Ficarelli working hard. It was Schimmelbusch who got a handball out to Carroll. It was a bit too hot for him in the end. The Blues looking to get the third quarter off to a great start. Haag kept his composure well and his footing. Gave it to Clark. Handball was shot out to Travers. Ball on the deck. Who can take clean possession here? Raymond throws it on the boot. Todd, he throws it on his boot. Very high up and under kick. Taylor forced to wait under it for a long time. And the umpire says that that kick was out of bounds on the full from Michael Todd. So the free kick goes the way of the Sharks to Schimmelbusch. Matty Schimmelbusch, very short now to Raymond, just in front of the scoreboard here at Shreem's Reserve, the electronic scoreboard that's very bright, and at the moment it's particularly bright for Doncaster, who lead by 25 points. Dixon's kick to Callagher, takes, had a fair bit of it, probably should have held the mark in the end. Got a lot of that one. Quick kick by Bolton. Ficarelli off the ground, and he's kicked the goal. 2 goals for Justin Ficarelli. He gets the Blues off to the best possible start in this third quarter. It only took them 2 minutes and 20 seconds to get their first goal of the second half, and it brings the deficit back to 19 points.
Yeah, look, they've controlled that 2 minutes, though, Brad, which is a positive side for Croydon, but they had the ball up in the goal square probably 3 times in that 2 minutes and finally got a goal out of it, but they've just fumbled the ball, but they are controlling the ball in this quarter.
Justin Ficarelli maybe with a little celebration up to the media team. Just Lee knows he's on camera sneaking that one in. Mackenzie
Knocked down there, was scooped upon by Todd. He got brought to ground. It was Michael Todd. We'll have another bounce. Margin back to 19 points. Mackenzie Van Florenston will give that one to him. Soupy coming in there. Turned himself out of a pretty hefty tackle. Got it downfield where he's exactly where it was paid. He's Taylor, who has the ball. He's only looking sideways at the moment. Umpire said, no, go back over your mark. No, he said it was okay. He's Higgins. Lead is on inside forward 50 to the Clark direction. That was a beautiful lead, and it was a good kick to boot as well as Green is screaming for it long. Callagher leads to the pocket. The kick's going to go towards the Haag direction, but it's all Doncaster standing tall, as all ruckmen should. On the last line of defence is Mackenzie. Neat pass, was okay. Spotted up Hooper, who went wider out towards Carroll. On the right boot, drives it up towards the wing position. The kick was superb there as Steve Muller comes out and takes it on the chest. And had a lot of the football so far in this game, Muller. Looking to step it up in the second half. 19-point lead to Doncaster. Nick Coman has the football now. Drives it up towards the half-forward line. Batista was there, a big fly over the back. Ball hits the deck and will have a bounce about 55 metres out on the Doncaster goal line. Looking for the answer. Croydon got the first goal of this third term. And a huge knock there by Coman. That was as good as a kick. It came out towards Fiora. Tried to link up a handball out there with Monks. Couldn't quite meet him. He goes after it again. Monks, that was good play, but Croydon have the numbers to drive the kick out towards the Taylor direction. Had to use his body well. He had Matty Schimmelbusch right on his hammer. Clark came in for support. McGarnis comes in also to lend Schimmelbusch a hand. Oh, this is a good umpiring, letting this one go, and eventually Mitch Raymond sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds right in front of the Croydon interchange bench. 5 minutes gone now in this third term. Mackenzie, Van Florenston came out short, so Grant got the knockdown, and now the Blues are away up towards the half-forward line. Haag might have been held without the football, then the umpire said it was okay. A little flick handball there by Callagher, this was okay, and now they've linked up beautifully, the Blues, and they've got two in a row. Fantastic goal there, kicked by Kyle Maher, that's his second, and he loved the celebration. Also, here come the Croydon Football Club Indigo Bank scoreboard as we cross the 5.5-minute mark. It's back to 13 points, a margin where we expected it at the start of the day.
And that was the sort of play that we've expected Croydon to turn on today, and that's the first time that they've broken from the wing. There've been some kicks, there've been hand passes, players running in assist, and it was a great goal there.
Yeah, starting to move the ball much nicer than they were in that first half, and if they can keep that up, it's going to be dangerous, because it's going to mean Doncaster are going to have to start to be more cannibal than they've been able to slack off a little bit, just because Croydon haven't quite been on the ball.
Starting to get the top of the table clash that we were expecting. 13 points the deficit now. Croydon are coming hard at the moment. Doncaster still missing a couple of players who will be off for some of this third quarter. There's the ball fisted towards the line then by McGarnis.
Nearly a throw.
Ball out, just handballed into open space. That was well done by Travers. Got it to Clark. Back to Travers. To Todd. Bolton now. Josh Bolton looks for Callagher. Hasn't taken a mark today until now, and he really set himself for that one, Brad Callagher, and he took all that Rambaldi could give him in opposition. He wasn't going to drop it again. So Brad Callagher spent the last couple of years at the Norwood Football Club, leading goal kicker a few years back in Division 1 for Croydon.
Yep.
You've got to make the distance, because Doncaster's got the big balls back.
60.
He's a thumping kick right to the line, didn't quite make it. It was he got quite close to the man on the mark, so he had to elevate the kick a bit more, and it was fisted through right next to the behind post there. Not a bad result though for the Blues. Callagher still yet to kick a goal today. Kicked 5 last week. Ficarelli gave it to Travers, who had his kick smothered.
Well done.
Was really well done by the big ruckman Mackenzie, who gave it to Kadlacek, who tucks it under the arm and then handballs off to Monks. Monks fists it further afield. Kadlacek again takes possession, brushes off the tackle. just always gives a spark. The young man, Zane Kadlachek, he's a lively type. This time his kick was intended for Fiora, but it was fisted over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Clearances this quarter 6-1 in favour of Croydon. The inside 50s 8-2 their way, thanks to Choose Tap.
Nathan Haag in the hands of the trainers in the Blues forward line, being helped from the field by a couple of trainers, so that could be a costly blow for the Blues. They need everything running their way at the moment as they try to work their way back here. Todd goes to ground, but it was taken by Sia Cavallis. Bit of an indiscriminate kick by Sia Cavallis. In the end, he's almost conceded ground. Taking possession was Monks. Monks' kick, not a bad one to a contest though, but Carroll was front and centre to the pack. Boots it over the boundary line, and it will be another throw-in deep in the Doncaster forward line. In fact, that was out on the full, was it, from Carroll? So, free kick for the Blues. Love it. Can't keep the ball in play. Just a bit untidy at the moment from both sides.
Just a couple of results, interesting ones coming in for the local burger company. Montrose have taken a 29-point lead against Blackburn. Also, games Mulgrave and Bayswater tied, and Doncaster is only leading Waverley by 6 points.
This is Lovett for the Blues. Lovett's kick over the head of Grant. Jimmy Grant, who's had a very quiet day today, hardly been sighted at all. His kick to the wing, it was fisted over the boundary line. It's interesting that in the absence of Brendan Wynant and Nathan Thompson for their respective sides, the talisman for each side, Steve Muller for Doncaster and Brad Callagher for Croydon at this stage, both still goalless. So they haven't quite filled the shoes, you'd have to say, of the very big shoes of Wynant and Thompson for their respective teams this afternoon. Free kick goes to the Sharks on the wing to Colosimo. Goes inboard to Malloy. It was a dangerous kick, but Malloy was up to the task. Malloy's kick looking for Carlson. It was Sheen, in fact, he was trying to find, but the mark well taken in defence there once more by Bolton.
Gets it away to Lovett on the right boot. Short passes on. Here's Hughes on the right boot. It's a good looking kick up to Grant. Done that a number of times over the years, Hughes and Grant.
Dangerous.
Switching to the middle, it must be a free kick for in the back. The umpire said it was play on, but Croydon have the numbers. Here's Mara on the right, on the left boot into the middle of the ground. Wilkins takes the mark. Nicely held up there by Coleman, maybe a little bit too long too. So umpire Geordie Buckingham said he was unable to release the football, and a 25-metre penalty ensues. I don't mind this by Croydon, taking a few more risks, taking the game on. We're at a stage now where only 13 points down, trying to get back into this contest. It's all right to see a couple of those risky switches.
Pretty short 25-metre penalty, that one.
Well, the kick's going to go to the hotspot. Who's going to be the flyer? Jarvis almost went up unattended there, the big Humphrey, and he takes the mark. Schimmelbusch is leading out wide. The kick goes in that direction now, and it sits up perfectly for him. So Matt Schimmelbusch, Doncaster stalwart, on the left boot. Short passes on Malloy, who's covering a fair bit of ground. A bit of spring about him. Kicks from the half back line. Well, he basically sucked everybody in there. Mark's being taken there by Scotland, who's back on the ground. Yellow card in the second term. He'll be looking to make amends. Cute left foot kick up towards the wing position where Jaden Hooper kicked a goal in the first half, takes the mark. So Doncaster just taking their time with this one. Scotland went for the 1-2 up towards the half forward line. Which way is this ball going to fall? Scooped upon there by Thatcher. He's going nowhere. Muller's standing over him and will have a bounce. Yeah, just a few more scores coming in Division 4. Kilsyth lead Coldstream by 22 points, and Warrandyte lead at half-time 23 points over Glen Waverley. Well, Coleman took it from the stoppage and he thumped it goalward, but it went to the right-hand side, and that's where it stays. Minor score on the board for Doncaster. That's only their second for the match. They have been kicking straight. 9-2, 56, 14-point lead, I should say, over Croydon, 6-6, 42.
And their first score for the quarter, and we're 12 and a half minutes in.
Yeah, so not bad signs for Croydon here. They've just got to keep the pressure on. Can't afford to let it drop.
But their last two entries to the goal scorer up this end from marks or free kicks, the Doncaster big men have marked on the goal line.
Yeah.
Uncontested bad times too.
So Jamie Haag brought the ball back in. It was marked by Travers. Now he finds Jimmy Grant. He's starting to find a bit of the footy here in this third quarter.
Good vision.
Grant's kick is a good one to Bolton. Josh Bolton wheels around, poor kick though, it's chopped off by Colosimo.
He's a big unit.
And Colosimo sweeps the handball out to Carroll. Thumping kick by Carroll, almost a mark. Couldn't quite hold it. Came off to Batista. The animal fires at the goals. And has he punished that mistake midfield by the Croydon captain Bolton? Yes, he has. Michael Batista kicks the goal. That's his second of the day. And that just gives a bit of a respite for Doncaster. They're back out to a 20-point lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And that was a result from the turnover against Croydon at centre-half forward here. And look, he went for the pass, but unfortunately the big unit, Colosimo, was in there 15 metres from the kicker and marked it and took it down the other end, and they turned it over and scored a goal.
Well, the problem in that passage of play for Croydon, which you've mentioned a few times, Ray, is the second kick coming out of the back line. Like, they had a loose man running, but surrounded by about 5 Doncaster guys all manned up, didn't have a really safe option. Pye throws the ball back up there. Jarvis knocked down straight into the arms there of Todd, though. Kicks it up towards the half-forward line, looking for Clark. Knocked away by McGarness, but scooped upon nicely by Taylor, who's been lively for Croydon across the half-forward line. Came in Higgins. A little bit of a hospital handball. Eventually the ball scrambles towards the Ficcarelli direction. Croydon kick up towards the top of the goal square, which is going way, way left. Brad Callagher didn't really go for it in the end. It was over the top of his head. And a boundary throw-in. Just quickly in the game between Vermont and Noble Park, Vermont have kicked the first 3 goals of the third quarter and now only trail by 17 points. Next to the local burger company, store around the grounds, doing it all this afternoon. Here's Todd, tried to break himself free. I said, well, had no chance to get that ball out, so give it back to me. Jay Pearson begs to differ. Throws it out. Jarvis, it was good. Higgins came in. He held it for as long as he was able to. Howard Bolton just stood his ground and gave the old hip and shoulder to Matty Carlson. Tough football. 30 metres out from the Croydon goals. Can they get one back? 20 points is the margin. 15 minutes gone in the premiership term. Going up in it was Clark. Couldn't quite get the knockdown. Doncaster won the last couple of those. Kick goes up towards the Galache direction. Hargs there as well. Did well to win the football, but C. Cavallis chopped it off and the umpire has blown his whistle and it's a free kick off the ball to Croydon. So a little bit of holding. The kick goes up towards the Callagher direction. You heard the moans of Brad Henderson because the kick was ordinary. Jarvis is going to have to do a fair bit of work to pick this one up. Gets a nice little shove from Jared Clark over the boundary line and out of bounds. Right forward pocket for the Croydon side. Pye brings it back in. Jarvis and Clark go at it. Beats both players. Todd. Kick out of that danger zone by Doncaster once again towards the Galache direction. He's been quiet by his standards this afternoon. Sheen, who's kicked 2 goals, links up with Galache. Over the top he goes Schimmelbusch, back to Galache. Maybe this is working out a little bit better for them. The kick goes in towards the middle of the ground. It had to be centimetre perfect, and that's exactly what it was. Monks now on the right boot, creates a bit of a foot race running in. Steve Muller, he hasn't kicked 1 goal yet today. Nathan Lovett right on his hammer as we cross down boundary side thanks to the local burger company.
Nathan Harger, number 21 for Croydon, he had a bit of an ankle injury. It's just been restrapped and should be able to go back on soon.
Thanks very much to Esmond.
Contested possessions 29-17 in favour of Croydon, thanks to Chustat.
Pye throws it in. Mackenzie palms that football down, and Buckingham's come in and is paying a push, I think, to Croydon. There's about 8 players getting off the deck there in that pack. Everybody wanted the football. The kick drives out towards the Mar direction. Like this game this afternoon, Mar. Handball over the top. I'm not too sure where that was going. Travis was in there, scooped upon there by Kadlacek. Inside forward 50 it goes, but Thatcher had his eyes on the football. Got it away to Lovett, and now the Blues can switch their way through halfback.
They do indeed. The kick up towards the wing position now with Bolton. Sweeping handball. This is a really promising build-up from the Blues. Taylor the target. Good big fist by Schimmelbusch coming over the top of the pack. Travers slides in to take possession. He's immediately wrapped up.
Great tackle by Monks.
Was a good tackle. There's a...
Been impressed by Monks. He's a Box Hill listed player. He's played a fair bit of development games. Obviously come back down to Doncaster today, and he's been really impressive. Good looking.
Pye throws it up. Mar shot out a handball. Taylor Went to ground, maybe playing for a free kick then. Schimmelbusch takes possession, and a handball from Schimmelbusch for Kadlacek. Didn't quite hit the target, but it still found the boundary line. I think he was happy enough with that result. So it's a 20-point lead. We haven't had a goal for quite a while here. Doncaster 10 goals 2. Croydon 6 goals 6 on the board. Bendigo Bank scoreboard, that is. And we've gone 18 and a quarter minutes in the third quarter, the premiership quarter. This top of the table clash. This is Jimmy Grant taking possession. There's a little bit going on behind the play, and there's a free kick.
Paid a few free kicks. Quarter.
Grant shot it out to Hughes. Those two combine once more. The veterans.
Downfield.
Hughes' kick finds Callagher, but it's a free kick paid downfield against Carlson. And Matt Carlson, he's been a bit undisciplined today. He's already
given away a few, hasn't he?
He's had one stint on the pine with under the yellow card, and he's given away a downfield free kick this time.
It was still a strong mark by Callagher though, even though the downfield free was paid. Yet to kick a goal today, Callagher. If you can get this one, pulls the margin back, and it's really important. Hopefully he can lift.
You expect him to kick this. Needs to kick it for the Blues. He likes it off the boot. Grant Callagher makes no mistake. Gets his first on the board. They certainly get around him to let him know that he's still a quality player, that's for sure. Hasn't been his best day today, but he's brought the Blues back to within 14 points of Doncaster.
Full credit goes to Croydon in this quarter. Although they haven't had complete control of the ball with their skills and all that, they've just battled on, and they only find themselves 14 points down now.
Let's have a look at some of those half-time scores again, if you would, Josh, thanks to the local burger company.
Yeah, just a few coming in now. Bourne take a, chance my maths out, 45-point lead over North Ringwood at the moment. Knox trailed by a goal to Rowville in a close one. Division 2, Doncaster East by 13 points over Waverley. Bayswater and Mulgrave still very tight. And Wanty South all over Scoresby. I'll let you jump in if you want.
Short passes on. Hughes, little handball over the top. Wasn't really clean enough for Ma to scoop on, but I'll tell you who did, Big Frankie. He got a looping handball over to Kadlacek, who can get the quick answer if he can put it through. Oh, that was a steady kick. Cool head in a tough situation, and a strong kick it was too. He's first on the board, Kadlacek, and Doncaster, that's the answer they needed on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Margin back out to 20 points once again.
Probably what's happened then has been happening all day. As soon as Croydon get a score, Doncaster just bounce back and answer it.
Couple more scores coming in around the grounds. Third Division, Templestowe lead Upper Gully by 34 points. Ringwood 20-point leaders over Sylvan. Mitcham 44-point leaders over Churnside Park. And a couple of updates in Division 4. I know that's all good. Kilsyth still lead 22 points over Coldstream. And one more result just coming in three-quarter time at East Burwood and Moorabak. A low-scoring affair. East Burwood by 13 points over Moorabak.
20-point lead for Doncaster still. They, as Ray Baird said, they get that steadying goal and keep snuffing out the challenge by Croydon. The Blues push forward now. Handball over the top to Travers. Good tackle by Carlson. Does really well for his team. Feeds it out to Pearson. Pearson's kick. It was a real kick in a hurry. Just needed to probably had a bit more time than he realised. Couldn't quite get the ball to Hooper, and a boundary throw in. 20 points the lead for Doncaster. It's Mackenzie against Green in the ruck. Todd got it to Green. Fist out of the air there by Green. Was taken by Kadlacek, who got it to Sia Cavalis. The kick to half forward. Sheen, the target. He's been pretty quiet since that lively burst at the start of the match. And forced over the boundary line once more for a throw-in. Yeah, Matty Sheen, 2 goals early, was on fire. Since then it's really been, well, they've been sharing it around the Doncaster side as far as the goals have been concerned since that time. Bentley got the handball away. Todd palmed it down nicely. That was good footy to Dixon. Dixon's handball back to Michael Todd. Dixon takes possession. Took a long time to get rid of it. He says, I got the handball away, but the umpire felt, I think, that he'd had it long enough before then. Hooper's kick was very sloppy. It was intended there for Sheen, and he couldn't quite find him. So boundary throw in. Umpire throws it back into play. Green convincingly wins the tap down this time, although not to advantage. A lot of players around the footy. Cavalis got an important handball, but Muller was immediately tackled, and he's had a frustrating day, Steve Muller, after kicking a bag of goals last week. He just hasn't been able to find any space, or the ball hasn't sat for him. Marks have been hard to come by, but he's got a chance here to kick his first goal of the day. Got the free kick.
Huge kick, this one.
If he kicks the goal, it'll stretch the lead back out to 26 points, and I reckon, well, that would make it incredibly difficult for the Blues. So Steve Muller for his first goal of the day. Walks in, pretty confident approach.
Nice kick.
Lovely kick off the boot. He's made no mistake, and Steve Muller gets his first of the day. It comes at a crucial time. It's goal number 19 of the season for Steve Muller, and it's the one Doncaster needed that stretches the lead out to 26 points. 24 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Well, 3 goals each in this quarter, and all the good work and all the control of the game that Croydon have had up to date in this quarter. Doncaster have the ability just to hit the scoreboard when they have to.
Couple of three-quarter time scores coming in thanks to local bird company. Doncaster East lead Waverley in Division 2 by 13 points. In Division 4, Kilsyth still lead over Coldstream by 25, and Heathmont leading the Wild Horse Pioneers by 33.
Cavalis did copped a hard knock in the middle of the ground. Mackenzie's kick went forward, but it was chopped off there by Martin, and now the Blues, they'll be looking for the answer this time. The kick goes out to the Hughes direction. He's got players running out wide, and that's the area he's going to go now. Callagher leads to the forward pocket. The kick was not good at all. Ramboldi just read it with ease in the end and stood back and took an easiest of marks. He kicked out towards the top direction, dropped what he should have taken, and gave Cavalis one for the trouble. Cavalis will receive the free kick. Settle down, boys. Fans are starting to get a bit of voice amongst them. Short passes on Pearson. Barely went the required distance, but he swooped it out wide towards the Ramboldi area, and he's got a teammate further afield, and now they're away. Here is Jaden Hooper, has one bounce, gets to 55 metres out. Is he going to be able to get the whole way home? Getting out there was Thatcher. He got hands on the football. Love it. Links up with Grant. He's deep in that back pocket. He is absolutely gone. Surely no. The umpire said he got released it with a handball. I can't quite say I saw that one. So very lucky there, Croydon, to win out with the stoppage there. Doncaster might have been having a shot on goal, but it is deep in their forward line, and the umpire to bring the ball back in now. It'll be Coleman versus Green. Green got the knockdown quite easily in the end, got it out towards Travers, then on to Lovett, who thumped it out towards the half-back line. Standing in position A, though, for the Sharks was Jay Pearson.
Has he had an opponent today at all?
He has played a loose a lot in front of the forwards. I don't know if he's been one-on-one much.
Well, Mackenzie's kick went forward. He was looking for Carroll, but it was chopped off by Zach Higgins. Now Higgins on the right boot just pops it up as well. They're just chipping it around. Hooper cut that one off. Travers got the handball away, and now the Blues can have another crack at it. Kick up towards the half-forward line. Here's Haig, little handball over the top, and now the Blues are away. Callagher's on a good lead here, and he should mark, and he does. So he started his run in about 2 plays before Callagher, and full forward could probably go back and kick this one.
Back yourself.
Callagher, they need it. It's going right to the goal line. Almost a mark there to Todd. Schimmelbusch saw that go straight through his mitts in the end and through for a minor score. Croydon on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 27 minutes gone in the third term, 7-7-49. They are trailing, though, the Doncaster side 12-74.
Schimmelbusch brings the ball back in to McGarnis. Brad Callagher off about 2 steps, and he almost made the distance. If he'd gone back and had a Feddingham shot at it, he could have got it. He was right on the arc. I'm not sure why he didn't back himself in. Wanted to pass it off, and in the end he didn't give himself any chance of kicking it. So the ball on the wing, Lovett takes possession, gives it to Wilkins. Matty Wilkins shows that dash, very familiar dash over his career.
Nicely done.
Nice kick to Haag. I liked his game today, Nathan Haag. Over the top, this is promising from the Blues. Racing into an open goal is Kyle Maher. He's kicked his third of the day. He let Schimmelbusch know all about it. He's up and about. The Blues are still in this game. They trail by 19 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 28 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Kyle Maher's direct opponent then in that contest, I think, might have been James Monks. Monks went to attack the other Croydon player with the ball and didn't have any impact. Maher was left all alone and he could just sort of walk through the forward as he pleased. It was sloppy considering we're so late into this third quarter. Andrew Tranquilli wouldn't be too happy with that one.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap.
Contested possessions this quarter, 44-30 in favour of Croydon. The Quinces 15-9 their way.
So there's still time for another sneaky one. Grant got a fingertip on it and it might have been just enough, and now the Blues can work themselves forward. Got a bad bounce there was Higgins, picked up by McKenzie. Hasn't he had a super game? Handball over to Sika Vallis, ran into a teammate, then released himself and got the handball out wide. Here's Scotland. Scotland now will drive in from outside 50 on the left. He's a good kick of the football. He's kicked it right to the hot spot. As the siren sounds, it was deep in the Doncaster forward line, but the bell beats all players. 28 minutes in that third term were played, and Doncaster lead it by 19 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 12-74 to 8-7-55. The major goal kickers on the ground is Kyle Maher for 3 goals for the Croydon side, 2 goals to Justin Ficcirilli. For Doncaster, well, they've got 3 players with 2 goals apiece. Michael Batista, Matthew Sheen, who got his early, and Aaron Fiora. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio East and streaming live around the globe on efl.org.au. I need a glass of water, so we're going back to Barry Cotts now.
The inside of a cake can have many layers. On the outside, it's hidden behind a coat of icing. But when you cut out a slice, all is exposed. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, nothing is hidden. Our website and Memory Maker app make it clear for families to make informed decisions about planning a funeral for a loved one. That's an example of how Tobin Brothers Funerals is taking transparency to new levels. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Hey man. Yeah man, it's crunch time. Is that footy speak? Nah man, it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour with the salted caramel crunch.
Oh, yeah, house-made warm salted caramel sauce and roasted almonds on 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah man, it's crunch time at the G and then it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour.
So this is footy speak then?
I'm just saying man, like the salted caramel crunch would be great to have after a day at the footy.
Oh, Pancake Parlour open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
Radio Eastern 98.1, it's 2 after 4. Barry Cott's back here in the studio and will return for the last quarter of our radio game this afternoon. Division 2, Doncaster and CROYDon from Shram's Reserve in just a moment. Time to check some AFL, and at the MCG this afternoon, there's a very interesting game indeed, and could be an upset. At three-quarter time, it was Carlton 15-7-97 leading Port Adelaide 11-8-74. It's currently the 12-minute marker for the last quarter, and it's Carlton 16-703 leading Port Adelaide 15-9-99. So Carlton got out to about a 2-goal lead during the third quarter, but Port Adelaide are fighting back. Now the difference is only 4 points, but it was for a significant period of time looking like it could be a bit of a boil-over. We'll just have to wait and see. At the moment, goal kickers for the Blues, Everett has 3, Armfield 2, and Casbolt also 2. Possessions, Cripps 26, Murphy 26, and Carazzo 25. Goal kickers for Port Power, Wingard has 5 to this point in time, Gray 2, and Westhoff 2. Possessions, Brock 25, Harler 24, and Wines 23. And currently it's rather chilly, 11 degrees in Melbourne's outer east at the moment, and that cold weather is going to continue for tomorrow, expecting some frost in the early morning. A sunny day, an overnight low in Melbourne's outer east of 1, and a top of 13. For Monday, cloud increasing at 13, Tuesday late shower at 15, and a clearing shower for Wednesday and 15. We're going to take a break and be back for the last quarter of EFL Gameday, Doncaster versus Croydon.
Okay, boys, it's time we got ourselves a big advantage this weekend.
I'm not going to tank, Coach.
No, who said anything about tanking? It's what you'll save in the tank. I want you all to go out and get a breeze tag. Use Eastlink. You'll be at the ground faster and fresher, and you'll save fuel too.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
EFL.org.au is a must visit for the die-hard Eastern Football League fan. In our section, check out the latest news, feature articles and video programs, including the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos. Best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to efl.org.au. Love it local and keep your radio dial locked on 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL Gameday kicks off at 1 every Saturday as the EFL Media Team bring you all the EFL Gameday action, thanks to the Pancake Parlour. On Sunday, tune in from 10 for Crocs Play Centre's EFL Sunday for a complete review of all the senior EFL matches. Wednesday night from 6, tune in to The Huddle with Paul Semasides, Aaron Kirkby-Rodia and Will Taylor for a lighter look at the EFL. Love it local this season on 98.1 Radio Eastern. For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres. From 10 till 2 every Sunday morning, the EFL Media Team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the seniors, reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, welcome back out to Shram's Reserve for the big Division 2 top of the table clash with Croydon and Doncaster. Doncaster leading this one at three-quarter time. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to LifeCare.
Just a quick word from Paul Newland. You're only 3 goals down. Okay, obviously a couple of the times that they had their big ruckman sitting in the goal scoring. Any positional changes to just to get a couple of quick goals up and really then the pressure's on.
Oh, I mean, we've had to make a few changes. Obviously, Doncaster, their pressure has been really good, so we're just got to make sure, we go out and play our brand of football. It's the message that I was trying to convey to the boys. We can't afford to allow them to have the extras here, there, and all over the place. We've got to play accountable football. We're 20 points down in a game that we can well and truly win. It's just a matter of whether we want to take it or not.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Esmond, down boundary side with Croydon coach Paul Newlands around the grounds. Thanks to the local burger company. Lots of three-quarter time scores, Josh.
Yeah, lots of three-quarter time scores. At the moment, Baldwin putting North Ringwood to the sword, leading by 76 points. Montrose take a 40-point lead over Blackburn at three-quarter time. Noble Park by 35 points. Rowville, 67-point leaders. No, that's not Crassy Creek. I'm not reading that wrong. 18-point leaders over Knox. Division 2, Bayswater 3-point leaders over Mulgrave, tight game there. East Burwood a low scoring affair at three-quarter time, 3-point leaders East Burwood are. So a couple of close games. Doncaster East only 13 points over Waverley. Division 3, Heathmont 33 points over Whitehorse. That's the only one I've got in so far for that. Division 4, 25-point leaders Coldstream still. Warrandyte leading 37 points over Glen Waverley. Forest Hill by 13 points as well.
19 points the lead as the last quarter gets underway. Kyle Maher, who's had a great game today for Croydon, puts it to the top of the square, but it's fisted through. In fact, not for a behind, right next to the behind post. So a boundary throw in alongside the behind post for Croydon.
Boundary.
So dangerous times here.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to LifeCare to Lockie and Munro.
Just the main message for Doncaster was just to stay aggressive, but not to give away silly free kicks.
A lot of players around this footy. Malloy spilled it out to Hooper. This is Todd. Lachlan Todd. Goal umpire arches the back and says that's going straight over my head. Through for a goal. Lachlan Todd has his first of the day, and what a time to kick it for the Blues, with Croydon now moving to within 13 points of Doncaster 1 minute into the final quarter here at Shram's Reserve.
Another contender for the Pancake Parlour play of the day, or goal of the day. In fact, we have a different award than Westfield Knox goal of the day, so got a couple of contenders for both our play and goal of the day thus far.
that was just the goal that Croydon needed. You know, they had to kick the first one, and they've got to keep going. But a positive signs there, I just thought, late in that third quarter.
Well, there's no doubt you're on the Croydon bandwagon today. So, the umpire throws it up, Mackenzie. Thought it was Bruce laughing in the background. He may have found his match. That's the ball from Van Florenstein. Comes out to the Grant direction across half-back. That's a brilliant tackle there by Carroll, and he should be rewarded, and he is, holding the football on Jimmy Grant. So just inside the centre square, Carroll sends the ball out wide. It was an okay kick to Scotland. It's got to sit up for him though. He's clever enough to let it sit up for him and goes back to Carroll with a well-weighted kick. He'll drive the ball into the middle of the ground. That was a good one too. Here's Colosimo. Screaming for it out wide was Kadlachik. Colosimo elects to kick it 50 metres up in the air, and a big fly at the top there by Batista. Geez, he's got some good spring, but Croydon have got the numbers at the fall. The ball coming through there was Mar. He's kicked 3 goals, but now helping out in the back line. Umpire said, give it to me, boys. We'll have a bounce 45 metres out from goal. So it's down to Doncaster in. They're kicking to the club rooms of the cheer squad. Can they snag one here? Bentley just got dumped with the football rugby tackle styles in the spirit of State of Origin down here this week. Throws the ball up now. Van Florenstein got the knockdown. A lot of players around this football. Lover tried to get boot to ball, but to no avail. And there too is Hooper, and the umpire said, we'll have another restart. Grant Campbell, the stats that matter in that third term.
Clearances went Croydon's away 15-10. They won the contested possessions by 14 and uncontested ball by 16.
So, a couple of fresh air shots by both teams there. Eventually goes towards the Bolton direction, who thumped it out towards the wing position, but Doncaster have the numbers. The short passes on his Hooper. He can go further afield if he wants, because Sheen's all by himself, and he waits for it perfectly, and it was a good kick. And he'll have a shot on goal, Matthew Sheen, for his third, and an important answer for Doncaster as they lead this game currently by 13 points, 3.5 minutes into this final term. So Matthew Sheen, he's got the bench cheering him home behind him. He's got the faithful behind the goals, and he kicks the ball out of bounds on the full. So not the result that neither the side or the fans wanted in that case. But no change to the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 74 plays 61. 4 minutes gone, final term.
You could say it wasn't a polished kick by Mr. Sheen, couldn't you?
You could. Well, you're so clever with your dad jokes.
Well, Bruce is laughing.
I rest my case.
Wilkins with the ball deep in the back pocket here for the Blues. Wilkins high up and under kick. Important mark there for Van Florenstein. He claims it, but it's going to go to the man in front. Free kick, taken there by Scotland for Doncaster.
He just about kicked this, Heath Scotland. He's an enormous kick.
Not sure that is. It is Heath.
Yeah,
Scotland. It is Heath Scotland. Wheels onto his left foot. Not his best effort though. It was a poor kick. And out of the full there from Heath Scotland. So free kick goes to Dixon for Croydon. Billy Dixon in the back pocket. Left footer. Weighs up his options and then puts it to half back. Fisted out into the path of Jimmy Grant, who was in the hands of the trainers at 3/4 time. Seems to have recovered. Slick ball, bit too slick in the end into open space. Doncaster take possession through Schimmelbusch. Mackenzie it was who got it to Carroll. Zach Carroll, geez, he is very polished, Zach Carroll. He finds his teammate in Monks. It was a poor kick. Martin there tried to take possession. Batista gave a free kick away. And Trent Martin, the recipient of the free kick, a very dangerous kick by Martin. Set his teammate a pretty hard task there, Zach Higgins. But Higgins safely took the mark. He goes very short to Dixon. Poor kick by Billy Dixon. Not sure who that was to. It was intended for Van Florenstein, but it certainly was well short of that target. And Doncaster, through Mackenzie once more, will send it forward.
So Colosimo has it. Wanted to give it off to Carroll, who had a short pass on. Kick wasn't too crash shot. Schimmelbusch had a fair bit of work to do there. You can hear the size once again from Bradley. Patrick Travers sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds. 13 points is the margin. Final term in Division 2 EFL Gameday. It's 1v2. Two's leading in the final term. Mackenzie has been best on ground for my mind. Gets a knockdown. Once again, tackles are laid. Scotland not letting that ball go, or his opponent, and we'll have another bounce. So it's on the far side of Shram's reserve. Big knock again by Mackenzie, picked up by Higgins, who's been a good player for Croydon this afternoon. Goes back to Lovett, who didn't have a lot of time, so he just had to pop the ball up in the end, and I think Van Florenstein copped one off the ball, so he'll receive a free kick. It was unnecessary. Wilkins has to get down low, but takes the mark just inside the centre square. Wants to switch the ball across the ground, and it was a good kick too. Bentley made some space. Haven't gone forward at all. Oh, it was a good smother, and now it's been chopped off there by Coleman, who's looking for options up forward. He drives the ball out towards the Batista direction. He had to stand strong, couldn't quite pull the mark down. He might go on the right boot. Now he wants the left boot. Snap to the top of the goal square. It didn't have enough purchase on it in the end. He was under pressure, and Nathan Lovett
Had Stevie Muller all by himself, just right 5 minutes beside him.
Hughes was under a bit of pressure to pull in that mark, paddled it on towards Martin, who copped one high. Non-officiating umpire coming in and going, "It's your kick, Trent." So Martin on the right boot. Gets the ball up towards the wing position. Had to be a strong fly, and a good mark too by Brad Callagher, who's a long way out from goal. Callagher just screaming for options to probably come to that centre half forward mark, and that's exactly where he's going to go now. He kicks it straight, and it was a great mark taken by Haag there at centre half forward. He's about 55 metres out from goal. We know he can roost one, Brad, and he might be able to reduce this margin back to 7 points.
Well, he deserves the goal. He's played a good game up forward for the Blues today.
They're right behind him here. He hasn't kicked a goal. He has to give it a fair old roost, and that's exactly what it's done. Has it gone all the way? It's bounced and gone through for one behind. He certainly gave it every chance. 9-8-62 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 12 points is the margin. Doncaster are very accurate. 12-2-74 today.
Yep, 12 points, as you say, is the margin, and Fiora to bring the ball back in for Doncaster. No, Schimmelbusch, in fact it is, sorry. Schimmelbusch's kick. Nice mark, great mark taken there by Mackenzie in front of Van Florenstein. I think Big Ewan Mackenzie has taken the honours in that battle today, as he usually does. Goes very short now to Scotland. Scotland had a big first half. Seems to prefer it when he gets the ball in motion rather than in this type of situation. And as a result, he kicks to a big contest of a number of players, but Green safely took the mark for Croydon. Got it to Green. Dishes it off to Higgins. Higgins' kick. He had the afterburners on then. He got it to top fires at the goals. It slams into the woodwork. And just a minor score there for Croydon. So Doncaster dodge another ball at Croydon. 9 goals, 9-63. Doncaster 12-2-74 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 11-point lead to Doncaster. 10 minutes gone in the last quarter, BWS.
McGarnis takes it across the half-back line now. He elects to go to the outer side. It was a scramby old kick. It was trapped off there by Ma, who drives the ball back inside forward 50, but over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full. So a couple of little errors there from both sides. Leaves the ball in the arms of Doncaster. Across the half-back line. 10.5 minutes gone. EFL Gameday, driving kick up towards the wing position. Green was the big fly for Croydon over the back. He got the spill down. Wilkins was in there. Little handball over the top from Doncaster there by Scotland. In there is Carlson. Still ferocious in all his tackles.
Croydon win the contested possessions this quarter 19-7 thanks to Choostow.
It is delicious. Byer throws it up. Garnis went up that time. He won the knockdown. He won his own football too. Eventually Green gets on hands and knees.
He had an opponent in Matthew Sheenwright on his hammer, and we'll have another bounce. Lots of stoppages today, Ray.
Yeah, heaps of stoppages, which is playing into Doncaster's hands at this stage.
So it came out. Travers got the little handball away. This is good play. Here's Jimmy Grant on the right boot. He kicked it inside forward 50, using his body well, was Matt Schimmelbusch. Croydon fans screaming for a little bit of a nudge on Clark, but to no avail. The kick was an absolute shocker. And over it goes for a boundary throw-in, I believe. Lachlan Todd trying to be a little bit sneaky and run on with it, but I said bring it back. We're 45 metres out from goal. It's down Croydon's end. Can they drag this game back to within a kick? It comes out now. Travers, little handball back to Grant. Lost the football. It's again, there's about 8 or so players around the pill, and the umpire comes in to bounce it once more. Keep the scores coming through. We'll get another update from Josh in a couple of moments' time. See if anyone can manufacture it out of this danger zone. Grant goes after it. He's pulled straight to ground, and what do you know? It's another bounce.
Bounce up.
By Geordie Buckingham. Throws it up now. McGarnis over the back. Grant once again takes the stoppage, and he's wrapped up in a tackle. Most 50 metres out from the Croydon goal. Little nudge there by Clark. It was unnecessary. He took the football out of it as well, but he's given away a free kick in the process. McGarnis now for Doncaster will have the ball. Just inside his defensive arc. Gives a little handball off. Risky business. Oh, that's a beautiful mark there by Todd. He put one mid up and then pulled it down with the second. Now he's got a centering kick. It was a good one too. Huge fly over the back there by McGarnis, and then later magnificent tackle on Ficcarelli. And the umpire comes in and bounces it. It's only 10 metres out now from the Croydon goal line.
Brad, one mistake that Croydon's done all day, they've given the ball too much airtime when they're chipping the ball across to the centre.
Pye throws it up. Schimmelbusch just tries to get boot to ball in. There was Malloy as well. Got a little handball out to his teammate in Carroll. His kick was half smothered. Ball trickling, and it eventually goes through for a score to the Croydon Football Club. 9 goals, 10-64 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 10 points is the margin. Doncaster 12-74. Can the Sharks hold on?
Schimmelbusch brings the ball back in. Mackenzie was the target. Grant provides a bit of physicality off the ball, and yet another ball up.
Let's go around the grounds thanks to the local burger company. Josh Dawe.
Yeah, Division 1 football. Ball and lead North Ringwood by 88 points at three-quarter time. Montrose by 40 points over Blackburn. Norwood by 55 over East Ringwood. Rowville by 31 over Knox. And Noble Park by 35 over Vermont.
Kick there by Todd, finds the boundary line.
Couple of close games in Division 2. Bayswater leading by just 10 points over Mulgrave. Doncaster East by only 4 points over Waverley, and Eastfield by 3 over Millbark.
Mackenzie won the tap down decisively that time. Scotland takes possession, works through some heavy traffic. Ran his full measure then. Scotland got it to McGarnis. Kick out towards Malloy. Malloy there buffeted to the boundary line by Hughes.
Division 3, Mitcham by 44 points over Churnside Park. Ringwood by 51 points over Sylvan. Templestowe by 44 points, and so are South Belgrave, 44-point leaders over Park Orchards, and Heathmont 33 points over Whitehorse. Yet to hear from Baronian Basin, but Basin did lead by 23.
Taylor's kick right to the line, and it's been touched on the goal line. So it was a good slick handball there from Clark. Shot it out to Taylor, Jake Taylor, who's kicked one today, almost had his second. It brings the deficit back to 9 points now. Doncaster 12-2, Croydon 9-11 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, Pearson to bring the ball in. It was a beautiful kick to the leading Nick Coman, who took it about 60 metres out from the Croydon goal line. So Doncaster making their way along the wing position. The kick was going up towards the Muller direction in the front spot, though it fell in his lap. Kadlacek takes it. He's been pretty good when he's had the football today. Winds up now towards the half forward line, straight through the arms there of Martin.
Croydon should have the numbers at the back here. Here's Hughes, who was chopped off though by Lovett. Turned himself into a bit of trouble, but got himself out of it at the same time. And the good linking handball up towards the wing position where Higgins tried to break the tackle. Handball over the top there to Dixon. And they're going to get out of this here, Croydon. On the right, on the handball there was Hughes. Linked up well with Van Florenstein. And now here's Wilkins. Arched the back and then thumped the ball up towards centre half forward. It was a beautiful kick off the boot. And storming out in front there was Lachlan Todd. Hasn't he presented well this afternoon? And he will go back confidently to get this game to within a kick.
And I believe that it'll be either spoiled on the goal line by the Doncaster big men as it has all day. He's just a little bit too far out for mine.
He's kicked one goal. Margin currently sits at 9 points. It's coming back, and off hands into the behind post. So minor score, it's number 12.
Couple of results in Division 4. Kilsyth were pushed out to a 45-point lead over Coldstream. Warrandyte by 37 over Glen Waverley. Forest Hill by 13 over the Eastern Lions. And haven't had a score from Surrey Park, Fentree Gully, or Nunawadi Donvale for a while.
So Ben McGarnis with the ball in hand for Doncaster. Still inside their defensive 50 here, the Sharks. High kick by McGarnis. It was pretty untidy, one up towards the wing position. Monks over the footy. Ball was shot out to Batista. Got it to Kadlicek. Tried to set off, but left the footy behind then. Dixon's kick. Billy Dixon to centre half forward. Ball spills over the back. Ficarelli gave it to Travers now. Patrick Travers wheels around, hands it back to Martin. High up and under kick by Trent Martin. It was pretty untidy. Travers, who's shown a lot of class today, walks his way through a lot of traffic then. High kick by Travers to the pocket. And he probably had a little bit more time than he realised. It was a bit indiscriminate then from the Blues. They were untidy going forward then.
Croydon leading the contested possessions this quarter, 28-13, really smashed them in the second half.
Grant Campbell there, thanks to Choose Tappers. Taylor fires at the goals. Cross the face, and maybe it was just a poor kick in the end because he bent it across his body. I think he may have been, well, he tried to fashion some sort of result there, but it's certainly not the desired result for the Blues.
Waverley Blues, have just taken the lead against Doncaster East late in that game, lead by 2 points.
They might be returning the favour. Waverley Blues of what happened at Doncaster East early on in the year. Kick up towards the wing position. Flat Thatcher was in there. Ball brought to ground. And we'll have a bounce.
Croydon's done all the running. I mean, this quarter's been played in that bottom half of the ground, hasn't it? Not very often it's come up this end.
Unfortunately.
You said it, Bentley was heavily met there by Raymond. Ball spills out wide. Handball straight over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Could have been deliberate.
Campbell into the interchange, I think.
Saw the jumper out there. Can be disguised that way. Higgins, big fly over the back for Croydon. Got a little nudge on it. Jimmy Grant roved the football well. Thumped it up towards centre half forward. A big fly over the back at the ground level. It's Ficarelli. He's got to be able to pick the football up. Gets it back to Dixon, who really went the player, not the football. Hughes came in. Handballed it backwards to Bentley. They've worked themselves back into the middle here. Now here's Wilkins. Drives the ball up towards centre half forward once again. Knocked away. Well done there by McGarnis. But Croydon have the numbers at the fall of the ball. Here's Higgins on the right boot. Little skew F kick out wide. Wilkins, who's come alive. He's got it inside the centre square, so he'll kick it certainly to within range. A driving kick out towards the Hague direction. Ficarelli was in there and Boldy got boot to ball and trickles over the boundary line and out of bounds. 40 metres out from the Croydon goal line. 74 plays 67. 7 points is the margin out here. 20 minutes gone, final term. Can Croydon get to within a kick?
Final score, Waverley Blues defeat Doncaster East by 2 points. That late goal has got them up at home.
Yeah, exciting stuff down there for the Waverley Blues. They just might find themselves in the top four tonight. Callagher knocked it down. Grant has had a lot of the football in this final term. Colosimo, little handball out wide. Kick goes up towards the wing position now. Standing strong there. Trent Martin took a solid mark. This is where they've been breaking down. Kicks it to centre half forward. It's definitely better. Mark's been taken there by Jamie Hugg.
just on the Waverley Blues. A point victory last week, a 2-point victory this week. They like the close finishes.
Yeah, and they beat Mirrabah in a close game a month ago as well, so they certainly know how to win the close ones, the Blues. Kick goes up towards the goal square. Getting a fair old shove there was Jake Taylor. Umpire said it was okay. Todd tried to get boot to ball and will have a bounce 20 metres out from goal. It's down Croydon's end. This will not be a long quarter, you wouldn't expect, but it's still probably got 5 minutes. Rush behind ensues, and we're back to a 1-goal ball game. 68 plays 74. Doncaster lead this one. 21 and a half minutes gone. Final 2. Many more final scores thanks to the local burger company.
Final scores just come in from Whitehorse. Heathmont Jets have beaten the Whitehorse Pioneers by 19 points.
Well, that's a good point, BWS. That rush behind does bring the score to 6 points the margin. So, in a way, I mean, Croydon, one more goal and scores a level. And I'm not sure Zach Carroll was aware of that when he walked the ball through the behinds. Closest it's been since early in the first quarter. Doncaster have led all day in this one. Not too much time left. Huge pack of players around this footy. Umpire right on the scene to ball it up. What do Croydon have? Can they mount another attack? A lot of players diving in. There's a free kick paid. The umpire saw something that he didn't like. The free kick's going to the Blues.
Oh, is it 25 as well?
And it's going to Taylor, and there is a 25-metre penalty. It's not the time to mouth off.
It's not a very generous 25 either.
I think it's enough. He should be able to get the distance from there, BWS.
It's been close in Division 2 today. Another close game. Bayswater holding a 3-point lead over Mulgrave played in that one.
Bayswater trying to hang on to 4th spot in Division 2.
2.5 minutes left.
1 goal 2 today for Jakey Taylor. High kick, high up and under, doesn't quite make the distance, and it's fisted through. Oh, in fact, over the boundary line. So still a goal the margin. That would have been a handy point. Would have put them to within or under a goal the margin. So boundary throw in. McKenzie uncontested out of the ruck. Sweeping handball to Monks. Strong tackle applied. Ball spills clear. Throwing it on the boot. Todd takes possession. Now he's strongly tackled into the ground, and he was going nowhere then. Lachlan Todd. All wrapped up by McGarnis.
A couple more full-time scores. Forest Hill have defeated Eastern Lions by 12 points. Montrose defeat Blackburn by 33.
This is a hotly contested footy. No one can really take clean possession. Pearson there all wrapped up. Strong tackle by Callagher.
24 minutes gone in this final term.
Tell you what, if this passage of play was going on in front of the crowd that's mostly at this end of the ground, it would be roof would be coming off this place at the moment. Wilkins sweeping handball, got it to Van Florestein, had his kick smothered, that was crucial. Doncaster steady now. Kadlicek takes possession. It all opens up for the Sharks, but it was a poor handball from Kadlicek. Coming through the middle, he's been good today, but that was a fundamental error.
Gee, that was an opportunity gone wanting. All the runners were off coming this way up the hill. The ball didn't bounce the right way for him.
Umpire throws it up. Maybe the last roll of the dice, you'd think, for the Blues. There can't be too much time left. We just heard Soupy say 2.5 minutes. Well, that was probably at least a minute ago, minute and a half ago even. Umpire throws it up. Coleman over the footy. Blues need to win this clearance. They can't do so. It's a ball up once again. Colosimo, the man that Paul Semasides calls the human meatball or something like that. Took possession. Umpire throws it up. Strong tackle there by Raymond on Hughes. Andrew Hughes hands it back to the umpire. The Blues have to win it from this one. They won't. The siren sounds and it's all over, and Doncaster have held on for a gutsy win. 6 points in the end. They led all day. They were the more accurate side as well. 12 goals 2 to Croydon's somewhat wasteful 9 goals 14. Doncaster chalk up another win, and they're top of the table in Division 2.
Fantastic performance by the Doncaster Football Club this afternoon. I tell you what, that last quarter they were holding on for dear life, but the major goal kickers on the ground for Doncaster, 2 goals to Batista, Sheen and Fiora, singles to Muller, Raymond, Galache, Mackenzie, Kadlachik and Hooper. For the Croydon side, it was 3 goals to Kyle Maher, who kicked the most goals out of any player on the ground today, 2 to Justin Fitzroy, 1 to Taylor, Kelleher, Wilkins and Todd.
Just on that final quarter, boys, Doncaster did not score and Croydon kicked 1 goal 7.
See, wow.
Croydon were the most accurate side in Division 2 this year, but today it's gone begging. That's costing the game.
23 scoring shots to 14 as well. When you look at it that way, it's Doncaster. Well, it pays to kick straight, doesn't it, right?
Well, look, Croydon can't. They had the opportunities to win in that last quarter. I mean, it was played way down the bottom end of the ground.
Just waiting for Esmond to signal for us to go down boundary side. I think he's got Andrew Tranquilli down there.
Maybe Croydon need to go at practice and work out how far each player can kick, because it seems like they don't know how far they can kick, and it kept getting touched on the line. It was just madness, really, wasn't it, Ray?
It happened a lot today, yeah. It would have been 4 or 5 times. The big tolls of Doncaster were back on the line, and players have just got to realise, you know, it's okay if you can make the distance, but if you don't, it hurts. It turns over.
Well, there's plenty of awards that we give out on EFL Gameday, and it was a different sort of feeling today, wasn't it, Brad, sitting up here in the rooms? It didn't really feel like we were part of the action, really, in some sense.
Well, it didn't help that in that last quarter, as Ray said,
the whole play was down the other end.
Not a single score by the Doncaster team, and how often do you see that happen? A team win a game of footy where they don't score in the last quarter, and it was, very much all the play pretty much in that last quarter was down the other end of the ground. Take my word for it, this place comes alive in the last quarter when Doncaster are kicking to this end, if the ball's coming in a lot, and there's a lot of action for them to watch, but it just wasn't happening today.
As a cricket umpire, you don't want to be at the bowler's end when the last batsman come in and they only need 1 run to win. And I was just thinking of Geordie Buckingham, and he was a more experienced umpire, and he stood up here on the point of the centre square at this